Hey, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. Hey, how are you? This is Danny.
And of course, and then Chris. Well,
It's because I got a haircut.
well, and actually, I said hello first like a split second early. That's probably why you heard my voice.
Yeah.
No, thanks for coming on. And Cody's with us here too.
Hi.
He's too busy looking in a box. That's a cool looking
What's
box.
in the box? What's in the box?
I didn't know I was like coming on at the top of the show.
Yeah. Hey, are we ready yet? Or go ahead and bring us in, Rick.
And with that screw up, Danny just proved which of us is the pinky and which of us is the brain. Well done, Danny. Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Crypto Show. We are coming to you live on April 30th, 2017, here in our studios in Defense Distributed. And we thank Defense Distributed and Cody Wilson, as always, for giving us these wonderful digs to set up shop in. And don't forget Cody Wilson's book. Check it out. It's great. Come and take it. The Gun Printer's Guide to Thinking Free.
Page 382, the coloring section's really good.
It's pretty awesome. You get to color in a bunch of guns, and you can use any colors you want. Just make sure they're legal colors.
Which of these passes the metal?
Any color in the rainbow is fine.
Exactly. 1776 though, what a price. Not just symbolic and liberty oriented. That's a cheap book for a solidly written, solid hardcover book. That's right. It ain't no paperback at that price. It's a hardcover. So check that out. Let's see. I want to. We're gonna. I always list our partners in the first segment, but I want to start doing that in the second segment because I want to get to our guests really quickly. Get to the nitty gritty. No hesitation. And we've got some great guests. Cody Wilson himself will be joining us here in a little bit. We're actually going to have also Tatiana Moroz. Everyone knows Tatiana. She'll be on, I think, in the fourth segment in the first hour. And of course, she's a singer-songwriter, Bitcoin enthusiast, liberty activist, and friend. Well, a friend of us, of course, but friend also of our primary guest, our first guest. And I'm so excited to bring her on. She is just a lovely person. The world's #1 mom, at least according to my own mother, Lyn Ulbricht. That's right, the mother of Ross Ulbricht. You can hear her in the background there. Lynn, welcome back to the Crypto Show.
Hey, always glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. And so where are you coming to us from? Are you up in New York?
Yeah, I'm back. Well, it's kind of near New York, a few hours, but close enough to go visit Ross. I'm going to see him Wednesday. Yeah, I was just out in Los Angeles where Judd Weiss put on a fundraising party for Ross. Tatiana was there. It was great.
Oh, I heard about that. That's right.
Yeah.
How much did y'all raise?
I think he raised about $1,000, which is great.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and before that, I was in Boston for a really interesting cannabis medical conference with PhDs and doctors from all over the world.
Was that at Harvard?
It was at Harvard Medical School, and it's amazing all the things that can
Lynn, stop spreading falsehoods. According to the government, the FDA, marijuana is a Schedule I drug, which means it has no medicinal value. Oh, wait. The government's own studies have determined it has medicinal value. I'm sorry, Lynn, you were telling the cold hard truth. My bad. By the way, Lynn, are you familiar with Kevin McKernan of Medicinal Genomics?
Absolutely.
Did you get to see him up there?
Oh, yeah, yes, I spent a lot of time with Kevin and his brothers and family, and Kevin, fantastic person. So smart, so nice, yeah, great. Can't say that better thing.
You know, I can't either. He's been on the show now, I want to say at least 3 times, and yeah, brilliant guy, really, really nice, great guest, very funny, and I just love hearing him just go on about all the things he knows about cannabis and you know, the genetics of it and the medicine of it. So I'm really glad you got to see him up there.
Yeah, he got up in front of the whole group and said that Ross was a genius, which
Aw.
was really nice.
Well,
and then he got to talk to him on the phone because Ross called, so that was really
oh, you're kidding. And
No.
was that broadcast to the whole group or what?
No, Ross doesn't speak publicly.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. But that was really cool. But you know,
Lawyers, a lot of women that.
right? That just makes sense. But yeah, call him a genius. I mean, you know, Kevin's just an honest person, so that's no surprise he said that.
Next to him, I'm going, really? I don't know if he's a genius, but he's smart.
He's a pretty smart guy. I would, you know, genius is probably about right. Well, and so how was that conference? I mean, was there any other interesting things that happened, or anything interesting you learned about cannabis you didn't know before?
Well, lots, and they're going to have videos up on their website, so everything that we didn't see, we can see then. So yeah, it was very interesting, and there were doctors who talked about their patients and the miracles that happened, and just lots of things. It was very academic, some of it, and others real life stuff. It was really good.
Well, that's awesome. It's great hearing testimony from doctors like that. You know, just
Yeah.
the more testimony from doctors, whether it's in a study or a formal setting like that conference, or even just sort of informal on video, wherever it may be, is important just to get the word out to more and more people who are still not aware that the propaganda from the war on drugs is total BS, that cannabis has never hurt anybody, it's only helped people. And, you know, it's just too bad that things like the Silk Road aren't still around to allow people to peacefully get their cannabis more readily. But the other developments are happening, obviously, like the legalization in various states this past year. That's always an exciting thing. Well, tell us, too, before, you know, we have you on for something that's a little unpleasant. We'll talk about that here shortly. But hopefully something a little more pleasant. How is Ross doing these days?
You know, I haven't seen him. I've been in California, so I won't have seen him for almost a month, 3 weeks, well, maybe longer. So he sounded good on the phone. You know, I don't really. There's been some things that have happened that, for instance, they changed the seating in the visiting room around, so it's very difficult for us to hear each other now. We're far away. It's like it's not as good.
How does that work? It's not like the glass
No,
booth
there's no
or.
glass. We don't have glass. Yeah, we never had glass. It used to be chairs around the wall, and you can sit next to the person, and because it's loud in there, because everybody's talking. Well, now we're separated by about 3 feet, and we can't hold hands. We can't, you know, and so everybody's screaming at the other person across the way, and it's very, very stressful.
Why do
Really
they make that change? Do you know?
I suspect that people were, they think that when people were too close, they could pass. You know, some people are stupid enough to slug stuff. Really not really smart, but they do it.
Right.
So they took away the vending machines as well because I guess they were pretty rude. I mean, whatever, but you know, it's like, it's very, very disappointing situation. Hope it changes. I don't know if it will.
Yeah, I hope so, because you know, I mean, I hate to like kind of compare it to this, but it's like when you know, you might go with friends to a really loud bar. Some people like that. I don't, because I can't hear what my friends have to say, and then it just kind of ruins the personal connection that you're trying to have. And when you're trying to relate, you know, the latest thing that's going on in your life, and you can't hear half of it. That's
And
ridiculous.
it's not really a conversation. It's just when everybody's screaming at everybody else. It's really difficult.
I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope they change that.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And but any other news that on him and how he's doing inside the cage, or and then also any updates on the appeal?
Well, one cool thing that's happening next week is Ross was part of Toastmasters program and that they bring into the prison. Some people are so kind to come in as volunteers, and so he's going to do his talk next week. Tatiana and I are going, and maybe, I don't know, another person, whoever can get off. But in any case, so it was really nice last time we went. There was the Moth storytelling event. It was similar, where he told a story, and all the different inmates told their stories, and we all got to hang out like normal people. And at the end, the percentage, because it wasn't guards, it was prison personnel, but they were more the education people and the Moth volunteers. And they said, hey, now we can all mingle for 15 minutes. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually in a normal situation with Ross, and it was so great, And so we all hung out, talked, and it was just like normal instead of this, very kind of difficult, regimented thing, which is even worse now. But so I hope it'll be like that next week as well. And it's always, every little bit, every little shred of something positive, helps. So.
Yeah, I agree. And I bet that sort of situational normalcy, relatively speaking, was really good for Ross, too, to have something low key and not so, like you said, regimented. And how long ago was that, you said?
By the way, it was on his birthday. So everybody sang happy birthday to him, and it was funny because he told a story about how, I had almost died a year and a half ago, and he told about how he was trying to find out how I was, and then found out. And it was very touching, and then at the end he goes, and here she is alive, everybody's like, yay! It was like a whole.
That's sweet.
That was really, and then they all sang happy birthday. It was really very heartening, and it was also really moving to hear the other guys. These guys, they're not violent. They wouldn't have them in there with us if they were. They have families, they have children, and most of them are in there because of the drug war. And it's so horrible what it does to these families and the kids, and to them, of course. And it was just very moving and very upsetting. And it kind of got me on a track of talking about the drug war more in general, because I've learned much more about it. And it's just a horrendous thing. And you don't have to be for drugs or think they're good to be against the drug war. They're very separate.
Well, yeah.
So
that's one of the fallacies they like to spread for those who are personally against drugs, so that they're more likely to be committed to the war on drugs themselves.
Right.
And it's sad. Well, we're coming to break.
It doesn't work. That's been proven.
Yeah,
as far as what the state's on, anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. We'll be right back with Lyn Ulbricht on the other side, so stay tuned here on the Crypto Show. We'll see you in a second.
I'm going to run get a glass of water.
Hi,
Sure.
Cookie Muncher. No, these are yucky cookies.
Thanks for the cupcake.
Yucky? No bad
That was really sweet. It was a good cupcake, yeah.
Cookies.
And
These
the
are
sentiment
cyber
behind it
cookies.
No candy.
was touching.
No,
Thank
they're
you.
cyber cookies, and they clog up your computer.
It's not been an easy week and a half.
Oh, that's an actual apple.
Yeah, it has not. You're right.
Throw away these yucky
What's that?
cookies in the trash.
It's all,
I said I agree.
it's all
It hasn't
downhill
been-
from here.
Yeah, as I understand it.
And then scroll down to cookies.
That's true.
and clear them.
I was just talking to Cody.
I know. Yeah.
My girlfriend of 4.5 years broke up with me this past week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's probably for the best.
Again?
You, some young
Yeah, that's right. Well, she actually broke. Rick asked that because she broke up with me 7 months ago, but for 2 days. This time it's permanent. Yeah, but Cody got me a little cupcake as a consolation the other day. I thought that was sweet.
That is sweet.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Just
Yeah, those long-term relationships usually take a
I still
couple
have
of breakups to finally get loose from.
Yeah.
No, said from experience. Well said, Rick.
It's a good thing it was only one cupcake, because we might have burned the place down or anything.
I know.
I mean, one candle, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The AR-15 is 8% lower. From Fat Sal's Deli, 5th place, $100 gift card for Fat Sal's Deli. Every $25 donation is
This whole week I've been going to the gym and watching what I've been eating. I've actually lost, I want to say 7 pounds in this past week. Yeah.
Check into the, Chris, check into the, it's called the FAST diet.
The
You
fast
basically
diet?
do a moderated fast twice a week, and that's all. And then you can do anything you want after that. And I have a friend who just lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
And, it was because I did it, and I lost 4 pounds really fast. So, I mean,
Intermittent fasting? Okay.
look it up on Amazon because it's a book. You don't have to buy the book. You can just read the reviews and get an idea.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, someone else I think was telling me about this. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it's healthy. It's healthy to fast.
No, his fast is a lot more than intermittent. All right. Bring us back, Rick, when you're ready.
Cops, this is what happens when you call the cops. You get your rights violated when you all get shot. I'm sick of people being victimized by criminal cops. Psychopathic.
Good song to come back on. That's Rob Hustle. This is what happens when you call the cops. And, of course, we had him on a little while back to talk about his sequel song and the music video debut to it, Good Cops. And it was a pretty exciting show. We also had, I forget the gentleman's name, but a former policeman who was on to talk about police corruption as well. And he was actually one of the stars of the music video. So go to robhustle.com.
I just
and check
met
that
him.
out.
I just met Rob Hustle. I just met Rob Hustle for the first time in LA at that party.
Oh, you did?
And I'm so happy to meet him. And he said, we stayed over just to meet you, and it was so,
You're kidding.
I was so excited to meet him. And what a nice guy, and his wife is so lovely, and it was just really wonderful.
Yeah, it was a pretty sharp video he did for you, too.
Yeah.
It was.
No,
That's why I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so, it's on our website.
Yeah. Even the Good Cops video, there's a cameo of Lynn in the Good Cops video.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah, that's right. How
I'll
funny.
have to check that out then.
I mean, the whole video goes by kind of fast. Everything's
Right.
kind of split second. But yeah, you are in there. I remember that. No,
That's funny.
he's a great guy, great guest, and you can just tell he's a great guy when we have him on. He's just he's a solid speaker with, and he's a guy with solid character. And I hope I get to meet him one day.
Yeah, his wife is really nice too.
Oh, I bet. Good men deserve good wives, is
That's
what
right.
I say.
Hey,
And good men don't deserve bad wives or girlfriends. Anyway, separate.
this reminds me though of like a joke I heard last night.
What?
By a certain age, you have the face you deserve.
Whoa.
It's like this attitude that yeah, look, if you're a good man, Chris, think about good things.
That's kind of
That's true.
true. That's kind of
Good
true
things
because when I went to my high school reunion, all the guys that were really jerk-offs, they all looked like crap. Laughed my ass
So
off
you
at
look
them.
like crap.
Yeah, I looked a hell of a lot better than they did.
He's
Oh, there
looking
you go.
pretty good over there.
Well, I appreciate that, guys, but let's get back to the important subject at hand, Lynn. I don't want to steal the show. Sorry. No more pity, no more self-pity. We're good. But that's really cool. You got to meet Rob Hustle, and you were saying, I feel like we were still with Ross's birthday. They sang "Happy Birthday." It was kind of more normal because it was just personnel, not security guards.
It was a more relaxed atmosphere. They wanted it to be a kind of a party, a graduation, and it was just laid back, and it just shows we can't all just kind of be normal in there.
Yeah.
They're not violent people, and just because they're in this cage right now for whatever reason, and I question many of them being there at all. We had a perfectly fine time.
Yeah,
all of us.
And you're right. They're perfectly normal people with families, many of whose family lives are ruined because they're behind bars, who don't deserve to be there, and it's a real tragedy. And, it reminds me real quick of a case I read about once where it was this 17 or maybe 18-year-old kid, and he was involved in some sort of, what do you call it, drug deal. I can't think of the word for some reason. And he was just like the getaway driver, but for some reason, because it was like California and their strict laws and it involved like cocaine or something, he got like 20 years just for being a getaway driver. And I don't.
Well, that's
But,
conspiracy and aiding and abetting, and you get the
With
same.
murder,
Yeah.
like if you're just driving the car and someone got killed in armed robbery, like you're getting the murder charge too.
I mean, but that
Even
still is
the
more
cop-
understandable than
Killing.
like I get what you're saying. I mean, I totally
Yeah.
get it.
It's
But you're right. The way the laws are set up, even that way,
It transfers.
it's
like,
pretty.
Don't be driving the car for some crew that you're not willing to go
Yeah.
go down with. You know.
I mean, that is true. You know, have some sense behind it. Well, and did you say Tatiana was there with you for that event?
Yeah, she was.
So has she actually gotten to meet Ross?
Oh yeah, many times.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess we already knew that. Yeah. And so
We did. You didn't.
I was playing ignorance to the audience just to bring that out
Set up on his
naturally.
mind, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. Sometimes
you could have reasoned to that point.
Yeah.
I could have, but it's just there's some blockage up there. Okay. And sorry, when did you say the next event is that you're going up for again?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, sorry, Lynn.
Event. Sorry, Toastmasters. Yeah, he's doing a
That's what it was.
Toastmasters. It's like a graduation, and he's going to do a little talk. They all prepare a talk for public speaking. They have different, not a lot in there. It's pretty basic in there. He's in pretty bad. The place he is isn't meant to be long term, but they do have a few enrichment things, and that's one of them.
Do you know what his speech is going to be on, or any idea?
I think this one is going to be about a trip he did to Big Bend, a camping trip with some friends, and they got lost. They went off the trail, and Ross actually found water, dug it, figured it out, and then trekked them back. So he had a lot of Boy Scout skills.
That is so cool.
Actually, they actually could have died easily. It was Big Bend's enormous. So I think he's going to talk about that.
That's really neat. That sounds like a good experience to relate. Maybe make a metaphor out of it for what's going on.
Yeah, hopefully what's going on has a happy ending too.
I hope so. Well, and yeah. Speaking of which, do we have any updates on the appeals process, or?
No, we're just waiting. I've been told that the average time in the Second Circuit is about a year from filing, which that'll make it June. I've also been told that having it take a long time is good.
Yeah, I remember you saying that before, so that's kind of encouraging.
Yeah, it is. It's hopeful. A lawyer I talked to had his orals right after Ross's. They decided his in 3 weeks, and it was negative. So I think when they whip through it, it means But if they're really pondering it,
Yeah, kind of the longer it sits, it kind of loses some of its shock value as well.
That's a good point, actually. You got to look at those psychological aspects of it. Yeah.
But then along comes some jerk off and writes some stupid book.
God, I know.
Also remember that.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, I was leading up to that. That's a good segue.
You should also remember that like October was the oral arguments, right? I mean, Dre Tell's performance is certainly not at the top of their minds. I mean, these clerks, these judges they're arguing from the briefs, So also the longer amount of time you have, the less like that performance at oral arguments matters. Oh, am I not? I haven't actually been in the.
No, you're on.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot clearer. There we go.
Okay. Hey, everybody, crypto land. So yeah, Lynn, every expert that I've talked to and that I think that we've talked to together has said that one, because the sentence was so outside the norm for the Second Circuit, and two, because of some of the evidence of interest from that panel and the time here, that I think we have reason to expect something good.
And also they just recently reversed a sentencing in that circuit, Judge Parker, another extreme sentence, and they shot it down and remanded it. So
entirely,
that's very good. I am hopeful, at least for that.
Hasn't little Chucky...
Really like a retrial, but at least for the sentence. I mean, come on.
Didn't little Chucky move on to bigger things too? So you don't have to worry about him.
I'm sure he must be busy. Ferrara was fired by Trump.
Ferrara's out, and little Chucky Schumer moved on to bigger, better things.
Actually, there was an article by a prosecutor saying Ferrara needs to be investigated. He's corrupt. Which, gee, really? That doesn't surprise me at all. He was also implied at one point he did judge shopping, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah. My personal opinion is there was judge shopping in Ross's case, which isn't allowed.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because of how politicized the judge's statement or whatever it was. I mean, I can't imagine that just your average random judge would necessarily be that politicized. They had to have handpicked her.
She was a known Schumerite. She had big connections to Schumer.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
He recommended her for her position.
Yeah, and you remember how hot Schumer was for the Silk Road. New York considered it an insult to their jurisdiction that website continued.
Well, and Schumer was on the Senate Finance Committee, and I think Bitcoin was very alarming.
That's a
Yeah.
good point too.
Yeah.
You're right.
You come up with an alternative currency. I don't think the people in charge of the money like it.
No, not at all. And as soon as they get a whiff of something like that, they will go after it. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't about drugs. That was obvious from the other sentences.
Oh yeah, it's always just the cover for public consumption.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, did y'all know Amy Schumer is related to Chuck Schumer? It's his niece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they had done stuff together.
They look a lot
in the
alike.
press, but they're actually related.
yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense because they're both terrible.
Did you see the gun control stuff they did together a few months ago?
I think I heard about it. I don't know if
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah.
Terrible.
Pretty ridiculous, obviously. Well, we're coming to break. Sorry, we'll definitely dig into what we've been almost avoiding just because it's just irritating. Is this new book about Ross? And basically, from what I could tell from the Amazon review, it just basically takes the official narrative and tries to sell it to the public, and which is pretty.
Not even official. He takes uncharged stuff and talks about it like it's true.
Oh, that's true. Exactly. Stuff that Ross was never charged with, only alleged to have done, and then they didn't even pursue these charges.
Yeah,
So
they haven't.
that goes to show you the propaganda intent behind this book. So we'll talk about that when we get back with Lyn Ulbricht, and we've got, of course, Cody Wilson in studio with us too. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back in just a split second.
By the way, Cody, he refers in his the excerpt I read. He refers to you, not by name, but he goes some of the evils of the internet, like 3D printing morphed into printing God.
Hey, Nick Bilton blames himself for making me famous. I mean, he
Really?
was.
How did he make you famous?
He wrote the first piece on me in the major media.
Really?
In the New York Times piece on me, yeah. And he got all this hate mail about it and stuff, like, you know. And then he was in the Vice doc kind of confessing to why, you know, they really fought on the editing room about whether they should publish the piece because they knew it would give me a lot of attention and help me get it done.
And it was in the news
Well,
again.
Brian's doing something good.
It was in the news again last week here in Austin.
What's that?
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. What channel was that?
It's on our Facebook page.
I thought it was KXAN.
Yeah, it's
it
KVU.
might- I can't remember.
So I messed up. Yeah, I totally missed it.
I get them all confused.
The video's up. It's like on Facebook.
Yeah, I've got it on our Facebook page.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to see it.
What video?
Well, I had the news just down the street. Like, was NBC or CBS put out something about ghost
excuse me,
guns?
it's KI. It's actually KI.
KI. They put out news about ghost guns, and then the local affiliate down here started Googling into us, and they were like, wait a minute, they're right down the street. And, like, when I say right down the street, I mean literally KI is, like, right there.
I've seen their offices there. That's right.
Like, you can walk there
we're
in
2
under, like,
blocks
5
away.
minutes.
That's so funny.
So they just rolled up here. They're like, hey, can we do a story?
I noticed they took a picture of the gun right here on the table,
Yeah.
but they didn't get any of this equipment.
That guy was all right. But I'm sure that was a crazy story.
Was he curious as to what the hell's going on here with all this? or
Yes.
what?
Oh God. The first day he was here, he was like looking around, you know, like this is some weird den, you know, some head shop or something. He thought it was.
Oh my God. Yeah, see, here's the post.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta. Oh man, I want to put that on my Facebook.
It's kind of a badass photo of you.
Is it? My eyes aren't that good, but yeah, they went shooting me and everything. This guy was quoting me from like interviews from years ago. This is like the most work any TV news had ever done.
Really?
To learn about me.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
What's funny is I found out about it because on the radio they announced it. I think on KLBJ.
Oh,
or
really?
something like that. But all they said was something about like how easy it is to get legal firearms or something like that. And I knew it was about you. And then I looked online, and lo and behold, yeah.
You know, you'd think I'd get a huge boost in sales, like blasting off some of that stuff.
But nothing happened,
I didn't
really.
notice it.
Well, wait, give it time. Let it spread.
I'll
you
go
know.
back and look. We did okay today, but I think it was all out of state. Yeah.
Oh, really?
We get Austin we all for it. But.
You haven't had any recent like national coverage, have you?
You are listening.
You know, I may be going through Montana too. That might be a good place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, actually.
Does Montana have?
Well, I'm doing. You know, I forgot to tell you this. I'm doing this circuit Like,
Oh, you are.
the whole West Coast all at once. I'm gonna kick it all off like that.
When are you going to do that?
On the 10th, 11th, something like that.
Already?
Yeah.
May? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They elected to pay us. I'm going to jump out there and do it.
Well,
man.
no, for sure. Well, maybe I can get on a leg of it with you or something.
Yeah.
Because I want to be at least a little bit a part of that.
Well, that's just one part. I mean, we're going to go all over.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I'll wait. We'll talk about it.
All right.
All right. Bring us back, Rick. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Crypto Show. It is April 30th, 2017. Live on TXLR 89.1 FM on Logos Radio Network. Don't forget to go to logosradionetwork.com and check out the fundraiser that's going on. It's still going on, right? Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Some really cool stuff donated by Central Texas Gunworks is available to win. So get out and donate, and even if you don't win, you're still keeping wonderful programming coming to your ears, or deprogramming, if you will, coming to your ears, because it has always been a listener-supported network and always will be, and thanks to your support, so check that out. Let's not forget our other partners, of course, our hosts, as I mentioned, Defense Distributed with Cody Wilson, and his book, Come and Take It, The Gun Printer's Guide to Thinking Free, Dash.org. Dash has continued to agree to partner with us to do many wonderful things, not just charity for the poor, but we're also working on getting Dash into dispensaries in other locations.
What kind of dispensaries?
Cannabis. Dispensaries.
Isn't that illegal?
Not in some states.
Wow. Could you imagine if they were like selling it on the radio or something here in Austin? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be totally crazy.
Wait a minute.
What if they made a commercial and it was like this?
Can we all agree that Big Pharma is trying to kill us for a profit while medical cannabis has been proven to cure and treat multiple ailments for centuries? While cannabis is still illegal here in Texas, there are some brave souls at CannaSense who, through the California Compassionate Use Act and telemedicine from the Affordable Care Act, have currently delivered medical cannabis to 48 states. That's right, 48 states, and without hindrance by law enforcement. Stop the madness and stop the stranglehold by Big Pharma. Go to thecryptoshow.com or logosradionetwork.com and click on the cannabis leaf for more details. That's thecryptoshow.com or the logosradionetwork.com and click on the cannabis leaf. Find out how you can see a California doctor and get started on the process of receiving medical cannabis at your door today. It's thecryptoshow.com or logosradionetwork.com. Click on the cannabis leaf and be sure to support the local warriors in this battle at Texas Normal and the Marijuana Policy Project.
By the way, do click on the cannabis leaf.
Do you think we're going to get in trouble for that?
Well, we won't, hopefully. No, it's all legit, apparently.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow.
CannaSense has done it.
But can you imagine like local radio actually running an ad like this?
I know, it's going to get a lot of attention. Hopefully good attention.
Some guy just like wakes up. Wait a minute, I can call a California doctor. Wait.
Rushes to the phone. By the way, guys, if you click on the cannabis leaf, be careful because behind the cannabis leaf is a naked picture of Danny. The cannabis leaf is acting as a loincloth, and it will move once you click on it. So just be careful. No, I'm just kidding. Well, really quick, before we get back to our guest, I really want to talk about this, but I do got to throw out a couple more quick things. So Dash.org, check it out. The other cryptocurrency Dash is doing pretty well on the markets this week. And, of course, we're going to do a lot with Dash to get it out to the public in dispensaries and elsewhere where there's largely unbanked companies and establishments like dispensaries in states where cannabis is legalized. And, of course, don't forget CryptoCompare.com with the CryptoCompare.com news bite, which I'm about to give one out. And then Hill Country Home Improvements for all your roofing needs here in Central Texas. They both accept and prefer Dash and Bitcoin. So real quick, European Commission to establish EU blockchain observatory. The European Commission will tender offers for a service contract to establish a European Union blockchain observatory in response to a European Parliament mandate to strengthen technical expertise and regulatory capacity. The goal is to establish an EU expertise resource for forward-looking blockchain topics and develop EU use cases. Thank you, CryptoCompare.com, for that news bite. All right, let's get back to our guests. Of course, sitting with us in studio is Cody Wilson, and on the line we have Lyn Ulbricht. And Lyn, let's talk about it. There's this book. It's called American Kingpin, which, of course, it has to have this grandiose, very negative-sounding title to it. and it's by this guy. What was his name? Bilton.
Nick Bilton.
Nick
And
Bilton.
it's not about bowling either, right?
Not about
Okay.
not the what's his name movie, Bill Murray movie, unfortunately. But ironically, Nick Bilton, as Cody told us off air, is responsible for something good previously, and despite this negative book he's put out. Cody, what was that? Tell us.
Well, Nick Bilton would tell you that he's the guy that made Twitter happen.
How so?
Yeah, right.
That's his claim to fame, that he basically hatched Twitter, which is the name of one of his books. But his early reporting on it at South by and everything is what made it like a phenom in his mind. But what he also hatched was the 3D printed gun movement, because the very first super piece of press about Defense Distributed My Effort wiki weapon was written up in the Bits blog of the New York Times by none other than Nick Bilton. And in the Vice doc that next year, he very visibly blamed himself and confessed that in the editing room they had debated whether they would run the piece or not, because they knew it would give my outfit a lot of attention and perhaps propel it into success, which it did.
Much success indeed. Thanks, Nick Bilton.
And we bring this up because Lynn notes that in the Variety piece, or one of the other pieces, Nick cites among the evils of the underbelly of the internet, he cites 3D printed guns, which he made happen.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, American Kingpin, because website hosts are just like kingpins. And but anyway, sensationalism runs rampant through this whole thing, from what I can tell from the excerpt or the adaptation.
They call him a criminal mastermind.
Yeah, well, let me say, before he even wrote this, he contacted me a couple times to be involved. And I consulted with someone I trust who knows that whole scene, and he said, no, stay away from him. It's going to be a regurgitation of the government's narrative. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, it's exactly what it is, except actually it's not the government's charges, it's the government's narrative, because they never were confident enough to charge Ross with murder for hire, prosecute Ross for murder for hire, or prove it. None of these convictions are violent. They're all nonviolent. And no victims came forward at trial to say Ross had harmed them, and yet Nick Bilton calls him dangerous. And then his journalistic colleagues who are reviewing the book they go into his echo chamber, only they exaggerate what he even said. So, for instance, he said body parts were discussed. And then the New York Daily News is like, they sold body parts. It's like it becomes this absurd, echo chamber that creates sensationalism and money. And meanwhile, Ross can't defend himself. He's sitting in a cage, and there's a feeding frenzy around him, and he's fighting for his life. And this guy, is going to make money off of writing as if it's true, allegations that have never been proven at all. He has no idea if it's true.
So wasn't the murder
himself judge, jury, executioner, psychologist? Ross is a split personality. Ross is evil, and Ross is good, and who is Ross?
Yeah. Expert witness.
And then, mind reader. He's like, Ross imagined this, and Ross daydreamed about that. And I'm like, really? You know this, do you, Nick? Interesting.
Wasn't the murder for hire plot kind of concocted by the government as a means of entrapment?
I'm assuming they did, because they didn't charge him. I don't think they would have held back out of the goodness of their heart.
I thought there was like they faked the scene. Like the cops actually faked the scene. No
one was murdered. That's the other thing. The Variety, the Vanity Fair goes, it's a murder mystery. I'm like, no one was murdered.
Well, that's why it's a mystery, because there was no murder.
They're so sloppy. Well, no, they're not sloppy. They mean to do it. And it's all about money. And it's, it's despicable.
Yeah, it was an attempt at entrapment or something. They faked a murder and took pictures and the whole bit.
I don't think they were worried.
Yeah.
They weren't worried about accusations of entrapment, though. I think the task force had so compromised their investigation by the point where they had gained administrative access to the site and done all these other things that they risked giving up how contaminated the entire investigation had become if they were to proceed with some of those charges.
Well, that's right.
Look, listen, Nick Bilton doesn't deny that it was entrapment, but he's saying that Ross fell for the trap and he arranged the murder for hire. This is not proven.
Yeah, that's
Not
right.
at all.
It's
And
far
a
from
lot of
proven.
it is based on Carl Force's material. He's in prison. He's a corrupt agent. And they go, well, Carl Force had this chat with DPR. I'm like, really? Is there something that can
Right.
say that he didn't write the whole thing?
Right.
And I bet I know.
Especially when this murder for hire took place after the feds had already kind of taken control of the
Infiltrated,
site anyway.
yeah. Well, we're coming to break. We'll talk more of this on the other side with Lynn. And yeah, if the feds had wanted to bring these charges, if they had the evidence, they would have. And if the issue was the evidence, the whole thing was tainted, that still means they didn't have the evidence. So they never had a case. I mean, that's just proof positive right there. That's why this is so irresponsible. We're right back.
Are you being harassed by that?
Oh,
Hey, Nick won't make any money on that book, though. Don't worry about that.
Well, I hope that nobody reads it.
I know, me too.
You know,
I almost hate talking about it.
I think
You know what I mean?
he had an unlucky publishing date. I don't think we're going to get. I think maybe Nick
Oh,
thinks we're going to get some type of result in the appeal or something, but that's what he's got to hope for. I think he's a year too late to market with the book.
so
well, yeah, it's kind of old news, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of like, haven't we
yeah.
all discussed this already?
Absolutely. And then I heard that Lynn, I guess you told me that the movie deal is itself kind of in stasis, so there's nothing to propel interest in his book.
That's true.
I hope it's that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody,
I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, I do. I mean, it could change overnight, but
Sure, it could change.
yeah. But I think Cody's likely right, yeah.
this is a bad publishing date. Good.
Yeah.
Why is that? Just
Yeah.
the time of year?
I mean, the Ross movie was 2 years ago at this point.
That's true.
I mean, like, we've really missed in terms of the hype cycle.
Hey,
And then we've
you,
got a
you mean Deep Web or?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying you're late to the party. Everyone knows. Like, I get it. In the journalistic circles, people are going to bring him on. NPR is going to bring him on. They want to talk about it, but he's not going to be making a ton of money with his book.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Well, I don't even care about his personal finances as much as I do, people losing my support, because people, well, he says
Oh,
this.
sure.
You know?
Yeah.
To bring it back up and to make people unsure of you.
And possibly tainting a jury pool.
Everyone should.
Well, I guess, yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's like, the thing is, that's why I want to make sure people understand, and it's constant anyway. He was
Lynn,
never charged. It wasn't proven. This is all,
Tactics
it was never prosecuted in Maryland. It's done. It's like they don't have anything.
maybe we
And they
should save this
know
for
it's
the air.
acting dramatizing like it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
'Cause I want to ask her if. Let's
Yeah,
see.
do that coming back, and Tatiana may be calling like sometime now or at 9,
Okay.
just to kind of tell people how to go on to social media and counteract this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm calling it media lynching. It's a media lynching by him, and that's what I'm calling it. Because Ross can't defend himself,
No.
and it's based on nothing.
Totally apt. Yeah. Well, we're coming back.
Lynn, okay, go ahead.
We'll dive back into that in a second.
I'll
Rick,
bring that up there.
yeah, bring us back, Rick, when you're ready. Welcome back, guys. Before we get back to our very important and compelling discussion, let me throw out another CryptoCompare.com news bite. Real quick, Florida lawmakers want Bitcoin covered under money laundering law. Florida lawmakers want virtual currencies like Bitcoin covered under the state's money laundering statute, a change that supporters claim would ensure criminals cannot use internet-based currencies to conceal financial activities, according to the Miami Herald. The proposed law was crafted by Miami-Dade cybercrime prosecutors after a judge threw out charges against a man accused of selling $1,500 in Bitcoins to buy stolen credit card numbers on the internet.
Isn't this the state with all the pancake houses?
Do they have a lot of pancake houses?
They're like on
Florida?
They're like on every corner. It's like a dispensary in Colorado. They're on every corner.
Ooh, man, I'm hankering for some pancakes now. But I can't because I'm on a diet. Well, let's get back. I just want to just reiterate before we get back. It's the allegations. Thank you. I can't think of the word. The allegations against Ross that never became charges. Again, if the feds really wanted to, they could have turned them into charges. It's clear they either had zero evidence or all of the evidence and crime scene, however you want to name it, was tainted. So either way, to me, that's just definitive proof it was all bunk. To paint Ross as some ultra villain in the minds of the public, and that's all it was. It was just a propaganda stunt. And as Lynn was alluding to, this book is powerful propaganda in particular because with a sort of almost novelized format of a book, like Lynn said, he can put thoughts. He can supposedly read Ross's thoughts. He can manipulate the situation in a way that regular reporting would not be able to avail itself of. So this is going to be a very irresponsible hit piece, and it's unfortunate.
Let me tell you, or Lynn, let's examine why this may not be a problem, and in fact might be a really good thing. I mean, it must have occurred to you.
Use some good news.
Well, it must have occurred to you to read the book, first of all, right? I mean, you must want to see what's said.
I don't know, Tony, if I can take it. Honestly, I emotionally and everything else. I'm like,
here's why you might want to take it, because, I mean, you didn't cooperate at all, right? That I suppose that fact checkers might have even tried to call you before publication.
No fact checkers called me.
Well, this is, look, just going through my own thing. Going through my own thing with my own house, I remember how jittery they were about when you say just the smallest thing about somebody, and that person can react with libel claims and other things. So I mean, really, what you've got here is the potential for Nick Bilton's publishing house to pay for your lawsuit.
Shout out to Lupe.
That's great.
I'd do that.
Surely you've thought of that, but I mean.
Well, I've been told it's pretty hard to sue civil. They could take a civil suit, and it would cost me a lot of money, and I've got to.
It might, but if you find a young gun who's willing to run for it, I think everybody knows how these things go. The publishing company would likely rather settle.
That's true. There might be a lawyer out there who's like, okay, I'll just get a cut. I'll do it for free, and if we win, I get a cut.
Yeah,
you
that's
never
what you
know.
do with these people.
Lawyers out there, get a hold of me.
Right? Yeah, seriously. That's a really brilliant point, Cody.
I don't want to presume that she hasn't thought of this, but I could see how it could definitely be
I was told by a lawyer, don't, because it's too expensive and it's too distracting, and you've got to concentrate on it. But you know what? What the heck?
There's some lawyer out there, Lynn, to whom
he's really slandering Ross.
Yeah.
Because it's not. It's one thing if Ross were convicted and it was wrong that they convicted him, but they did. They didn't. So it's
or even just charged, but again, none of these. These allegations never became charges.
I guarantee you, there's a lawyer out there that would like to take a crack at it, then.
Yeah, well, great.
Again, anyone out there who's a lawyer, please call the Crypto Show, and we will get you in touch with Lynn if you're interested in pursuing this.
But as I said off air, to me, this is a media lynching.
Yeah.
To a man who cannot defend himself. His lawyers don't want him speaking publicly. Ross is just sitting there having to take this, and he's aware of it because I know that he knows about it, and it's really frustrating for him. And he's like, I want to be able to tell my story, but you don't want to jeopardize anything, and it's very hard, and it's kind of unfair. It's kind of like
there's no kind of about it. It is unfair, extremely unfair.
Very unfair. Yeah, extremely unfair.
I mean, just.
And I'm very glad I'm not involved in it, because if I had, it would have just been telling about Ross as a person. And by the way, Nick Bilton told me, he wrote me and said, hundreds of hours of interviews and not one person said anything bad about Ross. Not one. And in fact, they talked about it, especially compassionate and kind to the underdog. And he writes that, and then he does this. He said it was truly remarkable. There wasn't a single person who disliked him. People have told me he was kind, thoughtful, compassionate, and how he was helpful and caring to everyone, especially to those in society that most people judge and ignore. And he knew that, and he did this. And he also said that Ross deserves life. So in Nick Bilton's world, you don't get a second chance. There's no, and he doesn't go into all the questions of the trial, as far as I know.
Well, he does deserve life outside of the prison, but.
The corruption that was found after trial, I doubt Bilton's going to mention. You want to keep, and also the DPR login after Ross was in jail. Who was that? But you know what? I've been told they want to keep a simple story. That's what people understand all of this. It's very hard.
Yeah.
And you want to have a simple story, good kid gone bad, Breaking Bad, whatever. And they understand that. Murder for hire, now he's in jail. That all works with their formula, and it sells. Hopefully not, but, So that's what they're doing. Because there's a lot more to this story that, needs to be told, but it's very hard to... complex. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. And he has the sort of plausible deniability of, well, I had to condense it somewhat because it's only so long a book that, you can publish that people will buy. So I had to eliminate all these things that cast doubt on the case and exonerate Ross.
I had to fictionalize charges that aren't proven. I just had to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Lynn, who participated with Nick that you? I mean, you don't want to talk about that, but did people betray the cause?
Well, the only person I know for sure that was in it is Ross's former girlfriend. Who sold a picture of him to Rolling Stone.
You gotta be careful with former girlfriends.
And he had just woken up and drowsy, and he looks like he's drugged, but he wasn't. And she sold that to Rolling Stone. She sold another picture of him to Vanity Fair, and she posted on Facebook, "Oh, cool! I'm in Vanity Fair. The picture and I'm chapter 3 and Whoopi." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. No worries about Ross or anything."
That's tough. That's tough.
Well, I won't go on what I think of her, but pretty crummy, very self-serving. Other former friends and girlfriends have been fine, but I haven't read the book. I don't know who said what, but apparently nobody said anything bad because Nick Bilton couldn't find anybody to say anything bad. Not a single person, he said. Not a single person.
I'm at least.
I can't say that. I bet they could find somebody to say something bad about me or didn't like me.
Oh.
It's like Ross is so seriously.
Well, they'll find them. They're coming after me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had 100 letters to the judge from people saying, please, he's so good. Don't put him away for life. Give him the minimum, which was still 20 years. It's still a generation.
Mm-hmm.
But Nick Bilton thinks he deserves one. That's what he said in an interview with Huffington Post.
I mean, for Nick Bilton to say that alone reveals his entire character. Yeah. Because anyone who thinks that Ross deserves life is either an ignoramus and a fool or a bad person. And so
government man.
Yeah, he is a government shill. That's ridiculous. And I mean, saying that even after finding that everyone he ever talked to could only say good things about Ross, I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm really glad you didn't talk to him because I can only imagine he would distort something you said and make you regret ever talking to him. And so,
my blessing to the project. I can't,
that's a good point.
I participated. I trusted him enough.
Yeah, the definitive account. Right?
No, I've seen every time somebody wants to interview her, she starts asking around. She's actually asked me a time or two, "Hey, is this guy any good or what?" So she's smart. She checks her community first.
Make sure. I'm not smart. I'm just learn from my mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, for most people, that is smart, Lynn. Most people don't learn from their mistakes, so.
Well, I don't always. But yeah, I've become less trusting. I'm still basically a trusting person because I think if you are trustworthy, you tend to be trusting. But man, there's some really low life. I'm not saying low life. I'm talking about there's a lot of untrustworthy people out there. I mean, he was trying to lead me to believe he really cared. That I thought of his mother and this kind of thing. And it's like, really? But then you were going to go and do that?
Standard.
It's pretty bad. And he had just had a baby and he understood fatherly love. And I'm like, and so you're going to smear my son? And
anything to get you to talk.
He had a baby what?
Lying press. Nick Bilton is blissfully unaware that the people's tribunals against the journalist class are, like a year from beginning at this point.
He's about to be
trials in the streets. He might be like rethinking that life appraisal at this point.
Yeah, exactly, because he might get his own sentence from the public.
Life? That's lucky. That's a mercy to you, Nick Bilton.
I mean, anybody who's dealt with journalists all have the same story. That they've been misquoted, distorted. It's disgraceful.
Oh, I
and then these idiot ones who just echo him. They don't even question him that Ross did this and Ross did that. I'm like, hang on. You're quoting from a book. It's like they're so lazy or something. They don't even look into it.
He does have this classic piece about eating dinner at Peter Thiel's. It's a hilarious essay. You gotta.
Wait, Nick Bilton does?
Yeah, you gotta read it. He thought he'd be getting like gourmet. It ends up being everybody just had like energy bars and like just snacks, and they're folding their arms, just like looking at each other nervously. Like
Really?
it was like the most
weird.
uncomfortable experience. It's hilarious to read about.
Interesting.
It taps into that weirdness of Silicon Valley, right? Like there's no creature comforts. Everybody's just strung out and weird.
That's so funny.
He's not about, the thing is he's a good writer, and that's unfortunate because, he can write, he can string words together, of course, but it's all based on, he has no way to know if it's true or not.
My favorite.
I know it's not true, but I mean, he doesn't, just as who he has no way to know. He's just saying it is.
Well, because he's a sellout. I mean, that's what it is.
My favorite piece of insanity of his is, all right, I guess we'll hit it on the way back.
Share that with us on the other side, Cody. I'm kind of interested to hear this. We'll be right back with Cody Wilson and Lyn Ulbricht. Stay tuned.
Would you like to make more definite progress in your walk with God? Bibles for America is offering a free study Bible and a set of free Christian books that can really...
So why do you think I should read the book, Cody?
Oh, because, I mean, there's probably, if there's something that really hits you in the gut is outrageous and libelous, you need to know.
That will help you to know God.
And only you're the best detective. What's that?
Volume set called
I hate to even contribute to his sales.
Well, no, I understand that. You don't have to buy it. I'm sure there's a way that you can get a advanced copy or something. I mean, there's ways you can get it without having to buy it. It's probably at different libraries and things right now.
That's true, maybe. Oh, God.
But, call Bibles for America.
Yeah, probably. You know what? I need to get my strength back, I swear.
Well, then, you probably don't have to do it. But, maybe somebody could kind of do an advanced read and...
Yeah, I probably should.
Or maybe we will just have you back on and we can discuss it or something.
Chris knows how to read. You know how to read, right?
Lynn, I guarantee you there's some young kid at a firm who would love to just take a swing at it. He wouldn't get any money, up front, and he'd just take a big swing. Because it's probably one of the big six putting it out, right? It's probably like Random House or something.
It's a Penguin.
Penguin, there you go. It's like one of the biggest ones in the world. I mean, take a crack, right? They'll probably throw $200,000 at it just for it to go away.
Maybe Mark Victor will be interested. Who knows?
Maybe he doesn't respond to me very well.
1,300.
I don't know.
Well, if you're asking, I guess I'll look for somebody to help. But I mean, like I don't want to start up something that you don't want to.
Well, I mean, I'd certainly be willing to talk to them. I mean, apparently I've been told that sometimes it can even go before a jury. You can be forced to put forward.
Yeah, but it's all jurisdiction. It's all jurisdiction too, though.
I don't know. I can't see Lynn getting involved in a court case.
Yeah, that's like so unlike her.
Yeah, that'd be so weird.
Honestly, I mean, the ball's kind of in your court. You've got mover's advantage. You can pick your own jury. You can kind of, you can pick the jurisdiction that you come from. I mean, considering that, think about this, Lynn. The book is published in all 50 states, ostensibly, so you can bring a suit anywhere you want.
So it's come out from the
where the book is being sold. So you can go to really really plaintiff friendly jurisdiction
where she might have a more favorable outcome.
Oh yeah.
Where would that be?
Well, there's all kinds of places like this, and
Colorado.
These lawyers know them. I mean, there's some in Georgia. There's some in Texas. There's places that people know to go to bring these kinds of things.
That's true. They probably already have this stuff kind of figured out. And
oh yeah, and look, you've got Lynn. You're a classic case. It's like, look, this man's poor mother is his only right. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I think you could get a jury to walk a little ways. I'm sorry to kind of talk it up, but it seems obvious to me.
I need money. I definitely need money.
If I need a quick buck, I'd check it out.
Nick Wilson was starting to go back and forth with me on Twitter, and then he stopped. And I think someone said, "Don't fight with another."
Yeah.
So.
You got that stuff saved?
Said,
you have it saved?
Well, it's on Twitter. I guess I should.
He might delete it.
That's true. I'll get it. He didn't attack me or anything. He was pretty civilized. I mean, he's not stupid.
Right, but any of his words directly to the mother could.
Okay, I'll grab them. Mm-hmm.
Convenient word.
Yep. But I didn't think of that. But anyway, yeah. Okay, sure. Let's go to another court case. No, I'm seriously. I do need the money. So yeah, maybe so.
Maybe we need to do another fundraiser too.
Didn't have to pay.
What's likely is you'd probably win on the first round, and then it's up to Penguin whether they want to really take it all the way or not. Because if they took it like the Supreme Court or something, okay, you'd probably lose, because it's free speech about a public figure or something. But I mean, is Penguin really willing to take every single one of those things all the way? They might just give you an undisclosed settlement and tell you not to talk about it.
Yeah. I just don't want it to hurt the appeal.
Oh, for sure. If it got the discovery and they got to mess with you, you need to bail.
Yeah. I don't want it to influence the judges, what she's doing, or I don't know. Yeah, look, it's worth having a conversation.
For sure.
Sure.
All right, Rick. Bring us back.
Yes.
Can't be trusted. FBI, speaking of which, no kidding.
After 3 years, that song's kind of grown on you, isn't
it? Just a little. 3 years, took long enough. Well, welcome back, guys. It is the second hour now of the Crypto Show here on this lovely April 30th, 2017. Real quick, don't forget our partners, Dash.org, Hill Country Home Improvements, CryptoCompare.com, and Defense Distributed, and, of course, LogosRadioNetwork.com to check out the fundraiser. Real quick, let me throw out another CryptoCompare.com news bite before we get back. Bitcoin Unlimited nodes crashed due to memory leaks. Almost 600 Bitcoin Unlimited nodes came crashing down last week, making the total node count fall from around 720 to 180. Since then, these have now slightly recovered to 458, with mining nodes apparently unaffected as BU's hash rate share continues to be at around 41%. Wow. Andrew Clifford, president of the Bitcoin Unlimited Foundation, publicly stated, "Unfortunately, running with full blocks in a massively bloated mempool is the hardest conditions for efficient block propagation while allowing flexibility for larger blocks. A point release is being prepared for this. In the meantime, please try size like max mempool equals 20 in bitcoin.conf." And that's some sort of code monkey speak right there for software people. Thank you.
Be I didn't understand any of that.
I didn't get it either. Thank you, CryptoCompare.com, for that news bite. And, of course, back to our guests, Cody Wilson in studio with us, Lyn Ulbricht on the line with us. And we are discussing this unfortunate book, The American Kingpin, by...
Unfortunate or untrue?
A lot of both. By Nick Bilton. What's that?
Mostly the latter.
Mostly the latter, definitely. But in speaking of mostly the latter, you're right, because for all we know, one, it's clear that Nick Bilton's intentions have backfired on him before. Like with
Cody.
With Cody, right? So he didn't want to make Cody this big, give Cody all this publicity, which got him a lot of supporters, obviously, and got his business started, and it's doing quite well, and people are very happy with the product and, of course, all the principles that are being supported behind it. So maybe, for all we know, if the American public, to the extent that they read it, and in a way I hope they don't, because I don't want this to be monetarily compensated, all this BS, but maybe there will be enough smart people who read it and see through the BS, and maybe they'll react in a positive way that can get more public awareness, not for the bogus official narrative, but for the truth that's out there and for getting Ross released. I mean, that sounds like wishful thinking, but you never know.
Right. I mean, I'm trying to use, I wrote a blog about it, not super long. It's on freeross.org. That I also throw in things I want people to know about, like the tampering of evidence and the DPR login after Ross was arrested, using the notoriety of this at the moment for people to maybe know about it that don't know about it. I mean, so trying to kind of use it to get some attention is one thing. I think everything happens for a reason, I think, and that we're just going through another, bumpy ride here. But, it's kind of like a rehash of what the government already did, and then they dropped the charges. Or they never charged it. They dropped the whole thing, and in terms of officially charging anything, and it's kind of like going through it again. It's like didn't we do this already? Didn't we already have this? So it's a little bit like old, deja vu all over again, right? And so I don't know. I figure I'll just move on. I don't have time to take on Penguin Books in terms of PR, but I'll just do what I can, and then I got to keep going with more important things.
Yeah, but like we've been talking about, for all we know, maybe there's some lawyer out there who does want to take them on.
Maybe so.
And if they get wind of this, and they're very much welcome to contact any of us to get that ball rolling. So, one thing I want to ask you too, he mentions, or this review mentions, there's like all this writing from Ross's and all of these pictures that he used to write the book, and I guess some of it's in the book. And you mentioned that everyone he talked to had nothing but good things to say about Ross. Do you think it's possible, or did he give you any indication that he was going to include that fact in the book, that all these people, many of whom, if Ross had done anyone any wrong anywhere, could easily have said something bad about him, but none of them did? I mean, is there any hope that got in the book, at least, that anything positive about Ross might be in there?
I mean, he did say, as a quantifier, he didn't say the whole thing that he wrote. Well, I don't know what he put in the book, but in the adaptation, he said, a lot of people say how kind he is, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't quite as emphatic, but he did say that. I don't know how he says it in the book. But then he goes on to say, but there are two Ross Ulbrichts, just like the judge said. There's the evil one and the good one, and they crossed over. And like I say, psychotherapist here. He's a self-appointed psychologist. And I'm like, really? You're now a psychologist. You know that there are two Rosses, blah, blah. And anyone who knows Ross knows he's very consistently who he is. He doesn't have some dark personality that comes out every once in a while at all. In fact, he's quite even-keeled and very consistent with his philosophy and his values. So, but he's making it up, just like Judge Forrest did, actually.
Yeah.
And he thinks the judge was right. He thinks Judge Forrest is just great. So that says a lot right there.
Yeah.
He's in somebody's pocket,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
it totally does. There's no objective. Yeah.
And you just made a really good point about Ross being consistent in his values. If Ross was this Jekyll and Hyde, and by the way, it's not simply that he is now appointing himself, Nick Bilton, a professional psychotherapist, psychiatrist, whatever, but he's essentially making the claim that Ross is like schizophrenic or multiple personality disorder, something extremely rare to begin with. But the fact that Ross, in his mission statement for the Silk Road, which we read on air a long time back, we should probably get it back again and just remind our listeners, because it was very eloquent and very principled and beautifully written and just touching. If that's his mission statement for the Silk Road, that doesn't jive with him being this Mr. Hyde behind the Silk Road. If his mission statement had been something like, I want people to suffer and I'm doing this to hurt people, or something.
Or I want control, or I want power, or whatever.
Or just tons of money.
Pablo Escobar or El Chapo probably didn't write a mission statement like that. And they make a big deal about El Chapo and Ross are in the same prison. And I'm like, and?
Is that true?
Yes, it is true.
Oh my God, El Chapo, break him out.
He's been holding there waiting his trial, right?
Oh.
Tell Ross. Yeah.
Wait, El Chapo's escaped prison like multiple times, right?
Not this one.
Oh. Tell Ross to watch the floor. He might dig up through there.
Well, actually El Chapo's in the shoe. So he's in a solitary
situation. Oh, man. Well, nonetheless, Ross, if you ever hear this, keep an eye on him, because he might have the way out. Who knows?
Right.
No, hopefully the way out is this appeal. And like you said earlier, I think it's so comforting that, not just looking at the general outcomes, but the fact that the two specific cases by this same set of judges, one, that when there was a negative outcome, it took only 3 weeks, which means that since it's been so long in this case, there seems like there's going to be a higher chance of a positive outcome. And then two, the fact that they reversed the extreme case. I forget the specifics that you had mentioned.
Extreme sentence. It wasn't these judges, but it was the same circuit.
Oh, okay.
The same circuit also shut down or reversed Catherine Forrest, the same judge, over the exact same argument about warrants, where the government used general warrants in this other person's civil case, and the Second Circuit reversed that. They said, no, you can't use general warrants. Well, one of the arguments in Ross's appeal is about using general warrants that lack particularity and are unconstitutional. So,
Right, 'cause-
I hope they take that into consideration as well.
Right, and just to clarify that for the audience, I mean, we've talked about it in previous episodes, but to be constitutional, to be legally sound warrants, they literally have to say stuff like, for instance, the drugs were in the safe in the back bathroom against the wall, kind of thing.
Well, or they have to say we are looking for this specific file in the file cabinet. They can't take the whole file cabinet and rummage through it.
Yeah,
Or the
there you
whole
go.
house and rummage through it. They have to say, and then if they see something they want to know about while they're going through it, they have to get another warrant. It's particularity.
And the same with the computer, right? I mean,
Right. I mean, a computer's like a file cabinet, basically. And they're saying, oh, no. We can just say the computer. Yeah. And then anything that's in there, we can rummage around in there. But EFF joined Ross's appeal and said, no, that's unconstitutional. That's because it's just like a file cabinet. And for a physical file cabinet, it would be clearly unconstitutional. But because it's a computer, they're saying, well, hey, the founding fathers didn't write anything about digital material. The Fourth Amendment doesn't say a thing about digital. It just says papers.
And you know
I'm
what?
Like, I see.
That's a really good point. Like, I mean, arguably, the Fourth Amendment, if you're going to extend it to computers, should be consistent analogously to computers as it is to, say, like a filing cabinet in real life, like you said. But
of the law, it's not, ridiculous parsing of the words.
Right. No, it's not at all. But if you're gonna if anyone's gonna claim like it's untraveled territory with the computer, then instead of, I think what the government does is where there's new territory, they just leap way beyond what the law says instead of taking a cautious approach. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they just kind of hope that.
Well, they're always pushing the boundaries because they don't like to be hampered by that pesky Constitution. It's annoying. And so it's being weakened constantly by their expansion. And this is a big question for the digital age because they're saying digital material is not protected under the Fourth Amendment, that we give up our privacy because we're not using paper anymore. We're using computers and phones.
See, and that's, yeah. No, and that's...
Big question here.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just saying it's a big question. And so the Second Circuit already reversed Catherine Forrest on that exact issue in a civil case, and I'm hoping they'll reverse her in this case.
I hope,
which means a retrial, by the way.
Oh wow! Well,
retrial without the laptop.
And see,
that's one option. I mean, who knows what'll happen?
Well, in any, just like with Ross, I mean, anything different than the life sentence or the full sentence that she got would be better. So.
Oh yeah, I mean the mandatory minimum is 20. Still a damn long sentence.
Yeah, it really is.
You serve some, and then you get a few years, not much, make 3 years for good behavior, and but it's still not your whole damn life. And if she's saying that he's going to come out in 20 years from now when he's in 50 years old and create another threatening website, give me a break. He doesn't get on the internet. He'll be like Rip Van Winkle coming into a whole new world.
There'll be too much competition by that time.
Well, he won't know what's going on.
Exactly. Well, we're coming to break. Go ahead.
He won't be not a threat now, but he wouldn't be a threat then.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like you were saying, they say the Fourth Amendment doesn't apply because it's digital, and you just hit the nail on the head. What I was trying to say, you said it better, is if it's new territory, they should just assume the Fourth Amendment applies above and beyond until they can, get precedent on it instead of the reverse. We'll be right back.
I love logos. Without the shows on this network, I'd be almost as ignorant as my friends. I'm so addicted.
Where's Miss Tatiana?
There's no going back.
I guess she was. I don't know. Supposed to call in.
She was supposed to call in.
I really want to help get this network in the air.
Do you have other guests coming up?
But I'm a bit of a
Cody's sitting in with us. Yeah, I mean, if you need to go,
I just wondered. I mean, I don't want to hog the whole show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton more either unless you.
Whatever you want. Just whatever you want. I can talk. I'm a talker.
Yeah. We'll go like another segment, or at least part of a segment.
Okay. Just no problem. Whenever.
Yeah, just at least so we can recap and then
Wrap it up.
remind people
Yeah, but it'd be great. Thank you so much. I mean, this helps.
I mean, yes.
No,
I want
no.
the base. No, I want the base to know. It's still okay. This is bullshit, and they can do that. And I'm afraid that it's going to alienate a lot of people. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully, they're smart enough.
The book. I hope so too, but I'm not.
Sponsored by Texas Defense
I want her to come on.
Cody seems to think only like elite media will read it, just to do little
donations.
reviews
Yeah.
on it. And
Hey, look, most people don't read.
that's
Yeah.
true, especially in book form these days. So
G2
Yeah.
9mm pistol from Defense Distributed.
The
Third
movie
place.
would actually be a little more scary.
while Patty Hearst,
The AR-15, 8% lower.
Yeah.
That's LA, 5th place.
was that about was she
$100
abducted, right? Or I forget. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
she was
no,
abducted.
but she faked it or something.
No, she was abducted. I lived.
Purchase Randy Kilton's ebook, Legal 101.
That's what it was. Stockholm syndrome. Yeah.
Craig,
That's right.
10 chances to win. And remember, every $25 donation is a chance to win. Go to logosradionetwork.com for details. And
Right.
donate
That's right. Because I was picturing just with an automatic weapon. And I couldn't remember. That's right. Yeah. That's so funny. Maybe I want to read that book. I'll read that book, not this one. Then lies about Ross.
Probably full of lies too. I don't trust any of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Honestly, I don't. Terrible.
No, nor should you. I mean, that's the state of journalism and media in this country these days.
The Lugenpresse.
The Lugenpresse? What does that mean?
The lying press.
Ah, okay, nice.
Lugenpresse, I like it.
yeah. So did the third round.
Lying press. Lying press.
That's pretty awesome. All right, Rick.
Lying. Is that what you said, Cody? Lying?
Yeah, lying press. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful about that one. That word's got connotations.
All right, well, bring us back, Rick. Welcome back, guys, to the Crypto Show. Let me do another quick CryptoCompare.com news bite. Cryptocurrency market cap reaches more than $30 billion, an all-time high. The combined market value of all cryptocurrencies in circulation, including OneCoin, no, I'm just kidding, has pushed...
or Club Coin.
That's
that
pretty
piece
good.
of crap.
Pretty good.
has pushed beyond the significant milestone of $30 billion for the first time ever, underlining the ever-expanding interest in digital currencies and blockchain technology. Valued at over $20 billion, Bitcoin covers more than two-thirds of the total cryptocurrency market cap. Oh, man, I still should... It just still reminds me of all the times I should have invested sooner than I did, but it's all right.
Well, you're in now, and that's what counts.
No, and I mean, I'm up. I mean, I've invested them up in various ways, but
The second best time to invest in Bitcoin is today.
that's true. Well said. Cody Wilson with market words of wisdom. Well said, sir.
This is not financial advice. Cody Wilson is not a licensed financial professional.
Legal disclaimer. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see.
All right, I just bought 11 grand in Bitcoin. Am I good?
No, you didn't.
No. Now he's going to sue you. No, I'm just kidding.
And dip.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was big coin.
Bitcoin, that's mine.
Isn't
my
Bitcoin still above 1,300 right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, well up above gold. That's
true. That's a
bubble.
very meaningful. You think it's a bubble?
No, I'm long, man.
Are you really?
I've been riding again since
I heard
250.
it's a Ponzi scheme. Is that true?
It's true. Absolutely. No, but
That's my retirement plan. at
No,
this point.
that would be Bit Club and Club Coin.
say it one more time.
Bit Club and Club Coin. Scam.
I just wish I'd called Ethereum's run up literally right before it happened when the Ethereum Alliance was announced in the paper.
Oh yeah.
We were in. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not pretending like I'm some market genius or something, but I just knew for a fact there was going to be a run up because of that.
He's pretty good.
announcement. And so
Well,
He
sure.
told me when to buy French fries.
Sure, you can front run announcements, yeah. But my theory can predict Ethereum's run down.
Ooh, wait, what's your theory?
No,
Hold on,
I
before
don't.
we-
Just that Ethereum is trending to zero. Like I
You
don't
think
believe
so?
I don't believe in any crypto coin that isn't Bitcoin. Ultimately.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Except for Dash, you mean?
Ethereum's a joke, and it just gets. It was an expensive experiment with a bunch of venture capital money. That's it.
Yeah. But to be fair, like
That's
I mean,
why I just
this
bought a whole bunch of
consortium, this consortium of 30 Fortune 500 companies that are piling into this thing.
Yeah.
Surely there's something.
Do whatever you want. Buy that as a value. Well, it's a consortium of all these companies. Maybe it'll provide some technology, but don't trade it long term as a.
That's
currency.
a good point. At least maybe short to midterm, just based on that bump from them.
Understand what you're playing with here.
I don't. See, that's the key. I don't.
Yeah. Well, they're fixing the switch to what is it? Proof of stake. So.
Oh, right.
That's right.
Gotta go out. Yeah, I heard Balaji on a podcast being like, "Oh, this is amazing. We'll have this incredible laboratory." No, nobody will want it. Anyway.
It's like they're permanently trying to sabotage it even more. Who knows? I don't know. Well, let's get back to our guest. It's Lyn Ulbricht, of course, the world's greatest mom, and like I said before, that's according to my own mother.
That's sweet.
And she is, of course, the mother of Ross Ulbricht, and fortunately, there's this hit piece book out. What was it? The Criminal Kingpin? No, the
American
Kingpin. Sorry, I should get it wrong so people don't even bother.
Don't say it too much.
Didn't Ridley Scott have a movie like that with Denzel, like American?
The American website host.
Oh no, you're
American
talking
Gangster.
about
American
yeah.
Gangster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Infinitely better than Nick Bilton's
Yeah.
American Kingpin, I'm sure.
And and just
Most Dr. Seuss books are better, but
I agree.
Classics.
But yeah, just to reiterate that point, because I just want to articulate it well for once. But like she said, they want to claim digital is not covered by the Fourth Amendment. But as I'm saying, to me, the proper, sensible thing to do legally is when you have this new territory, assume automatically the Fourth Amendment applies. And I wish I could remember specifically. I know this principle applies elsewhere. In law, I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But no, they want to run in the opposite direction and assume it doesn't apply, which makes no sense.
what principle are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember.
Like it's a constitutional modality that no matter what the analogy is, as long as the technology expands it, you just use the old analogy.
Yeah, or at least automatically initially
begin with the old analogy
until you have maybe court cases or legal reasoning that comes about that shows there should be an exception or whatever. You know what I mean?
If you look at the longer term trends here, I mean, look, I'm super pessimistic about our civilization.
Yeah, me
but
too.
we figured out cell phones after about 10 years. I mean, there's still some egregious abuses about access to the cell phone, but we figured out cell phones in most of the circuits. And don't let me just. I think we're figuring this out. EFF concedes as well. It took about 10 or 15 years. They got everything wrong on the internet and on your laptop. But
what do you mean exactly? Sorry.
Well, there was these wholesale abuses, and it was like, well, this is digital. Well, this is a computer. It's totally different. These rights of but we're beginning to find the contours of the Fourth Amendment and other rights and privileges again in the digital. Unfortunately, there have to be these massive casualties, Ross among them. But I mean, I think Ross will be a part of the rehabilitation of our understanding of these things, because there won't just Ross's resentencing, for example, will be a part of that kind of reappraisal of understanding.
So the abuse that happened in this case, and then hopefully the sort of overturning of the ridiculous sentence with the appeal will contribute to our future better application of the Constitution and the Fourth Amendment to cases like this, rather than this.
That's what Lynn's fighting for, and Ortiz is gone. Of course, Schwartz is gone too, but then now Barrar is gone, and Barrar had named his task to be like, I'm going to clean up the Wild West of Bitcoin. I'm going to clean up the internet, right? Well, he's gone, and it's not that like there won't be someone else, right?
So he got cleaned up.
But exactly.
Turner's gone.
Yeah, a lot of these people cycle out, and then slowly through patient people like Lynn and organizations and efforts like ours, we work these things through the appellate courts and ultimately the Supreme Court when we get lucky, and groups like EFF are there, and they bend things back into a body of law, and then to where prosecutors can't be as ambitious with what becomes increasingly more settled technology. That's the optimistic view.
That's a beautiful optimistic view.
I like it.
I hope you're right, but like you said, I'm pretty pessimistic too.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm a nihilist.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but man, you are a pessimist.
I mean, the heat death of the universe, right? Like, what do you want from me?
Entropy, man, it's real. Lynn, so you're doing the Toastmaster. When is that again with Ross?
Next Tuesday.
Already, okay. And what else? What other? And Tatiana's joining you with that.
Yes.
And what other?
I don't know where she is. I texted her. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, because she's. By the way, as everyone may recall from earlier in the show, Tatiana was supposed to call in. I don't know if she still is, but she's certainly welcome to. There's still time left. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Tatiana.
Tatiana coin.
Tatiana coin. Exactly.
Is that the other? Is that the other 1/3 of the cryptocurrency?
Let me say, she has a CD out, and Ross drew the cover. He drew it as a birthday present to her from a photo by Judd Weiss, and
that's right.
He drew a picture of her. It's beautiful, and gave it to her as a birthday present, and she made it her CD cover.
Yeah, she told us about that.
Yeah, and we're starting a campaign, Art for Ross, which that's a perfect synergy of art because it's Judd's photo, Ross's drawing, and then Tatiana's CD. But other artists are interested in participating, and I'm.
Well, yeah, tell us about that. I was going to lead into whether you're doing any other fundraiser things.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be on the web, and then maybe we'll do a physical gallery thing in New York, but different artists contributing. Tatiana's really interested in having artists use their talent for activism. And so we have several people that are interested in supporting Ross, and maybe, we'll work out something where they have incentive and they make some money too. And, there was an artist at Acapulco who donated 3 paintings. He auctioned, and he's going to be part of it, and just different people, and trying to broaden the base of people who know about Ross and care, like also the drug war people. Not just, I love, of course, libertarians and everybody, but, we got to broaden the base. There's a lot of overlap, and really it impacts everyone. So anyway, so we're doing that. But she's a great CD, and I really recommend, she's got a great song she wrote about Ross, which makes me cry every time. And, she's got a beautiful voice, and so I really recommend.
Oh, yeah. People can go to TatianaMoroz.com and check out her work and get her album. And she is a wonderful singer-songwriter and a wonderful person who gets behind wonderful causes like this. Well, we're coming to break. We'll wrap up with Lynn on the other in the next segment, so stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys. It's my friend's kid. She entered her into a beauty contest thing. So I told her I would try to post it so people might vote. Vote for it.
I'm going to vote against it.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to vote.
Actually, I think I'm eligible
to vote. You want me to vote?
I'm not voting. It's not coercive political voting, so you can do it.
Well, it's not SpongeBob, so I'm not voting for it.
Oh, it looks like SpongeBob. Look at her.
Yeah.
And keep your information to yourself.
She does look a little like Trump. Maybe I should vote for her.
Hold on. What did I do with... Oh, wait, that's right.
Private search engine alternative to Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Start over. Start page.
The whole world was stunned when employers started demanding Facebook passwords from job seekers. It was an outrageous privacy violation that angered a lot of people and even prompted legislation. But one German publication,
just vote real quick. Go on. Just click on the thing.
I'm not voting on
Vote
that.
for my friend's baby. Come on.
I'm not voting.
Not only were those
Can I do it?
Voting.
So it's not you?
Voting is a crime.
Can I do it on your computer?
No, voting is a crime.
Oh, you're such...
mass murderer.
It's an aggressive crime.
Oh my God. This is for a little kid.
You're voting against uglier babies.
Well, ugly and fat babies deserve to be punished, so they get used to it. So that when they're
are you just mad
significant other dumps them later in life?
Were you published?
Because they're too.
Were you punished as a baby?
Pretty much.
Oh,
Cody, you know what she? Well, I think you already knew that.
What's that?
That she dumped me because I'm too fat.
Structural engineering.
I would have dumped you long ago.
You're Americans.
I was overweight when we got together. I used to be thin.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was.
I see the evidence.
Yeah, right.
Storm.
Oh, right.
Thank you.
He's going to take that picture home and put it beside his bed so he can wake up in the morning and.
Who, Chris will?
Seriously.
Yeah. So that when he gets down below that weight, he can say, "Look at that fat bastard."
Lift heavy.
And we accept Bitcoin as a multi-year A+ member of the Better Business Bureau with 0 complaints. You can trust Hill Country Home Improvement.
I'm craving cupcakes and ice cream.
You know what?
I think I gotta get
save-
out of here. Do you want me to stay?
5298745.
beer till 10?
I
That's
mean,
all right.
well, if you don't have to, I guess we can. I don't know what we'll do, but
She's about to leave, so you need me to stay.
Well,
is
you
that
don't
what you're
have to. We can.
saying? No, I'll
yes.
stay. I'll stay.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, let's
If you got stuff to
talk
do,
about
you
where
can-
you're going with the GG
99287.
and all these other awesome little products that we're selling around here.
Oh, that's a good point.
Trails.
I'm fixing to sell the shit out of some ghost cutters. You watch.
We apparently sold 10 to some distributor on Friday.
Wow, really? So they're gonna resell them? Or?
I don't know. I think they had.
I'm
some
gonna double duty. I'm gonna double duty while I'm out for Dash. I'm gonna sell
That's
ghost
great.
gunners.
Or get them to accept Dash at these.
Hey man, I'll give you a commission. I mean, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah. Set them up as distributors. Ready? We
All
got
right.
some music.
Bring us back, Rick, when you're ready. Welcome back, guys, to the Crypto Show. We're talking with our guests, Cody Wilson and Lyn Ulbricht. Before we get back to them, one more CryptoCompare.com news by U.S. regulators to review decision denying Bitcoin ETF filing. A more than 3-year effort by investors Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss to convince the SEC to allow it to bring the Bitcoin ETF to market stalled when the agency's staff ruled against them in March. Now, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission plans to review its decision last month to block the listing of the first U.S. exchange-traded fund tracking the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, a regulatory cryptocurrency Bitcoin, a regulatory filing showed on Tuesday. All right. So, Lynn, I think we'll probably let you go here momentarily. Thanks for staying with us. So we appreciate all your time. We know you're busy as heck. We love you too. And we know that you must be just constantly exhausted from everything you're doing to help Ross and just to live your life. But so we really appreciate your time.
I appreciate being on. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, lately it's pretty tiring. I'm pretty tired lately, but hopefully I'll catch up.
You will definitely. Yeah. But we were just saying, you were just telling us about the artist fundraiser. So basically, artists are going to submit Ross-related artwork that you're going to be able to sell for funds, or how does it work?
Yeah, kind of. And it's not necessarily Ross-related. A lot of it will be different activist themes, probably, but it might not even be that. Just people supporting. It's kind of in process at the moment. We don't know exactly. Musicians, photographers, painters, lots of different people. This is kind of Tatiana's brainchild, but it's kind of cool because it'll be more fun. We're trying to keep things interesting and fun as well, not just please give us money all the time.
Well, y'all do keep it interesting. I mean, like the whole reveal picture thing.
The art game, and Ross has some other art I'm going to pull out and stuff like that. Yeah.
All that stuff's cool and fairly original and interesting. I mean, people are getting something in return for sure. So I hesitate for you to put it like you're just asking for money. That's far from the case, I think, with a lot of these raisers.
We try to provide value, and I try to always have a different talk when I talk and not the same one over and over, and
that's really cool.
Lately I've been really focusing in on the drug war, and of course it overlaps into Ross, but I've just become, the more I learn about it, the more, I was telling Danny earlier, the more I realize what an abomination it is and a threat to our liberty and across the board, not just about drugs, and I think it's something that really needs to be addressed, and of course it feeds right into the whole mass incarceration disgrace of our country. And so, anyway, I'm kind of branching out into that effort as well. I've always cared about it, but I guess more, more wanting to people about it.
It's always more, once you can be principled against the drug war, like, say, for instance, I am, but it's only when it comes home to you in the way that it has for you, obviously it's going to make you even more impassioned about ending the drug war. So, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not just us; it's the other people I see, and the families and the children, the children whose lives are ruined, and then they get into the whole system, and then they end up in prison, and it becomes like a very profitable war for a lot of people.
A profitable war, and like an endless war, because it creates a vicious cycle of of people going to prison and breaking up families. And I really think that next to the wars and how the PTSD and how troops being sent overseas while their families are back home for, up to years at a time, I think along with that, the drug war is the biggest negative impact on society that there is.
Private prisons are the Halliburton of the drug war.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, exactly. So that's why it's so imperative to end the drug war, because I guarantee you if the drug war ended tomorrow, pretty quickly, but certainly within a generation, you would see a completely different society in a positive way. So
right. Well, there wouldn't be any cartels, for one thing.
That's for sure.
They love it because it drives up the price of drugs, and the violence in the cartels in the neighborhoods would end.
Well, there'd still be one over there in Washington, D.C. Those guys.
Yeah, there'd still be the federal cartel, but the other ones would go away. And it does. It creeps up through gangs into neighborhoods in the U.S. It's not just Mexico or the border.
Like Ron Paul said, the government hates competition.
Exactly.
What really opened my eyes, the top 5 lobbyists against marijuana legalization are private prisons, where, of course, human beings are the inventory, which is human trafficking, really. The police unions, the prison guard union, so it's really a jobs program as well. Yeah. The pharmaceutical companies and the alcohol and beer companies, which, of course, eliminate the competition. And that's all you really need to know. I mean, there's the cartels and the banks laundering everything, but it's like that's all you really need to know about why it's, it's like they're fighting, they're lobbying to keep it illegal for their own gain.
There is one
human beings.
There is one positive aspect to private prisons. They employ the dumbest people in the population.
Well, but yes, look, it's crony capitalism. It's not like I could go buy an acre of land and build a prison. It's not private. I mean, it's complete.
No, and that's a very good point too. It is. That's not even quite accurate to call it, because it is just corporatist crony capitalism.
Yeah.
And if you work in a private prison, just don't listen to us, please.
Man, but so true. Look at all these groups who are opposed to ending prohibition, and that tells you everything. Powerful lobby groups. And you're right. It's a jobs program because they would lose their jobs by and large if prohibition ended, and then they'd be forced to go be productive members of society. And that's tough for a lot of people.
Well, they would hire them. No one would hire them. And then, and also, it's like over 60% of prisoners now are nonviolent drug offenders. They're stuffing the prison. Most of them marijuana.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's nuts.
Unbelievable. Well, I should take that back, because I do know some nice people in prison too that I would hire. They're nice, but there's, it's. Yeah.
Wait, nice people who work in prisons, you said?
Yeah, I do know some. Well, a couple. Pretty nice.
I mean, there are good eggs, there are good apples out there, but
I don't want to be too negative about that. Yeah, I mean,
but they're kind of the exception to the rule, or at least,
They are kind of, yeah. I mean,
I got a buddy with a septic tank company. We can put them to work over there.
Yeah,
there you go.
No, I mean, good people too, but in spite of the system, but others abuse their power terribly.
Yeah, well, good or bad within the system, we don't need good or bad people using those positions, even if they're just following orders, quote unquote, to essentially terrorize people and lock them up and ruin their lives. So, good or bad, the system is bad and needs to end. So, well said. One last thing, and I guess you said it's still ongoing, the art thing, because I just realized I know this couple.
It hasn't really started, but it will.
Well, I'm excited because there's a couple I know. I've known them for a long time. They're close friends. They're really talented artists and musicians, and they're getting slowly pretty successful here locally. So I bet they would be very happy to contribute. And considering the talent that they have, I think you could fetch some good money with their contribution. So keep us abreast of when this is going to get rolled out. Because I want to give them a heads up so that they have, and they're artist friends too. They have all sorts of artist friends that they, are connected with, and they actually throw art shows. So even just locally, we could get a lot of contributions. So just let us know when that rolls out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Well, we got about a minute and a half left, Lynn. We really appreciate your time. I guess just give us some final thoughts or remind listeners where they can go to help with the appeals fund and anything else.
Yeah, well, freeroths.org, which we are revamping, but it's considering things like having to fight big media and fight big government. Sometimes things move slowly over here.
Yeah.
But we are revamping it. As regards this book, please, well, first of all, please read my blog about it on freeroths.org. So I go into more detail. But also, don't believe everything you read. Just because it's in a book doesn't mean it's true, just as you guys know, or on the internet or in a movie. You have to dig deeper because really there's no guarantee that it's true at all. In fact, in my mind, it's likely that it's not. I mean, I'm very skeptical now.
As you should be.
Yeah, well, firsthand, you start seeing it. And sometimes it's subtle and sometimes it's blatant, but it's a problem. So anyway, this book is based on unsubstantiated allegations that were never proven and are being treated as if they're truth by a writer who is making them into a narrative, telling a story as if it's true, and people are believing it's true. It's kind of like believing the doctor on TV is really a doctor. It's like they go up to the actor and go, "Can you diagnose this?" I mean, this happens.
Right.
Now it's like they're not real. It's not real.
We're coming to the
Dr.
beat.
Phil.
Right. So, Lynn, thanks so much. We appreciate you being on the show. We'll have you back on very soon.
Okay. Bye.
Are you being harassed by debt collectors with phone calls?
Sorry, that was a
letters,
quick
and lawsuits?
buzz
Stop
there.
debt collectors now.
Well, did we hit on everything you wanted to, Lynn?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even expecting to take up this much time. Thanks a lot, guys. Great to talk to you.
All right.
Thanks for the show, Cody, too.
Oh, for sure.
And thanks for all your time. We really appreciate it. We know you're busy, so.
No, I certainly have time for this. I wanted to get this word out. So, all right. Well, take care. I'll see you guys next time, whatever that may be.
All right.
All right. Talk to you soon, Lynn. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Pay you to go away. The Michael Meares proven method is the solution for how to stop debt collectors. Personal consultation is available as well. For more information, visit worldwallradio.com and click on the
Well, we kind of already covered the news article and all that, but you want to go over like the
I haven't seen
KI?
it. Can I watch it?
Oh,
Is it?
yeah.
Should I have to watch it in a break?
Yeah. Should we?
To learn how
Let me
to stop
see.
debt collectors now. Are you the plaintiff, defendant in a lawsuit?
Yes.
In your case without an attorney
What
with
is that thing?
Jurisdictionary. The affordable,
Some
easy to
ugly ass
understand
baby. Jesus Christ, that's the ugliest baby I've seen all week.
step by step.
Whose damn baby is that? No, I'm
What your
kidding.
lawyer should be doing. If you don't have a lawyer,
He put a vote
know
for
what
my ugly baby contest on.
Cool.
Now you can too.
There we go.
Jurisdictionary was created by a licensed attorney with 22 years of case-winning experience. Even if you're not in a lawsuit, you can learn what everyone should understand about the principles and practices that control outcomes in courts. Audio classroom, video seminars, tutorials, forms for civil cases, pro se tactics, and much more.
There we go.
Visit radio.com and click on the banner or call toll-free 866-LAW.
7 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I unplugged it from the board. Uh-oh. Music already started. Okay. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, you can listen to it over there. Ready?
Bring us back, Rick.
Things ought to be. He gave us all a protocol this world had never seen.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the Crypto Show. It is April 30th, 2017. It's our final segment. And we were just talking with Lyn Ulbricht, who graciously stayed with us for most of the show. It's, when you get really into this topic, even if it's only, with new information and old, you just can't help but just get really impassioned about discussing it and getting into the details of the case and reminding people how Ross was railroaded and how so much reasonable doubt was not admitted into the courtroom. And it's unfortunate that now this book is going to try to convict him again in the court of public opinion, but hopefully no one reads it. And if they do, hopefully they're smart enough to do their own research and have a critical eye on on the book and its claims, which, as we've already talked about, are unsubstantiated and essentially provably false, as I discussed earlier. Let me throw out real quick another CryptoCompare.com news bite before we get back. Let's see. Let's go for a short one if I've got one. To the moon, Bitcoin reaches $1,300. Bitcoin has finally reached the $1,300 mark on the CryptoCompare index. The surge in value may be connected to the SEC's decision to review the ETF proposal. The CryptoCompare index is not taking into account exchanges with U.S. dollar tether problems such as Bitfinex and Poloniex, which are trading BTC with a premium, whilst the U.S. dollar tether is trading at a discount to par value. And that's something important to understand, because I did not realize that there was this premium on Poloniex as a result of the dollar tether. I mean, I understood the dollar tether was not technically dollars in your account, but I didn't realize that there was this premium or this discount on the dollar tether. But it makes sense because it itself is a Poloniex derived, I guess, crypto. I don't even know if it's a blockchain based per se, but obviously there is a bit of risk involved in holding those, insofar as there's a risk involved in holding any token like that.
I'm not sure about that USD tether being Poloniex only. Is it?
Well, no. I mean, no, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm just going off my Poloniex perspective, or because I use it by and large. I misspoke there. But all I'm saying is, beware of that risk, because I wasn't. And that's my own ignorance, but I didn't realize it was carrying this premium because of that fact. Anyway.
That's virtually like almost $100 difference in the actual Bitcoin price.
I know, it's pretty big, exactly. Yeah. So it's definitely good to go to what do you call it?
Your wallet, whatever wallet you have.
That's true. Your wallet's going to have a pretty accurate market price, and that should be good enough. But
Zero Block, there's a good one.
Zero Block's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good app to. It's I think it's already on your.
Integrated
it's on your blockchain wallet and all that.
Oh, okay. Well, and we're also, of course, in studio with Cody Wilson, who has been patient enough to remain with us. We appreciate it, Cody.
It's all good, man.
I know you're busy and have a lot to do, so appreciate your time as well.
I had a peaceful weekend, man. This was a good weekend.
Did you?
I got work done, but it was good. Very peaceful.
Peaceful just because you were able to get work done in relative solitude and quiet with no distraction, or just
it was a pretty weekend. I mean, just really.
That means a pretty girl involved. You know what I'm saying?
There's always that.
Oh, tell us more.
We got barbecue yesterday. It was
Franklin's?
Very nice. Oh no, nothing that good. I still haven't had Franklin's.
I haven't either.
I've lived here for.
I'm not standing in line. I can cook way better meat than that.
Yeah.
I still haven't had it, so I can't say it. But I mean,
I kind of like it. It's one of those things I haven't done yet. I can just always have that as I got to try that.
Yeah.
As like one of your future bucket list things.
Yeah. We got to get Franklin's. Maybe they'll celebrate something.
Yeah, I got to go get Franklin's barbecue before I have to kill that guy. Go away.
Yeah, it's mostly like, what day do you want to sacrifice? Like, what day do you want to lose? Because you'll just be there all day.
Well, I sacrificed a day to get it once, and I had to leave right as we were getting into the building. The last.
I'm not eating anywhere Obama ate.
You mean
screw that?
Wait, you mean you had to bail and you didn't get the food, but you did all the wait?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Because I had to go to work, and I was hoping. My friend convinced me I would either make it on time or there'd be plenty of time. We get there by 11 o'clock, and 12 o'clock rolls around, and we're still just right outside the building. But I gotta go.
So your friend didn't save you any?
Was this before or after Obama tainted it?
Oh, before.
Okay.
So luckily I didn't taint it for anybody.
Bet you he didn't have to wait.
No, I think he went to the front of the line.
Douche.
They served him in the back, man.
He's a king. I'd serve him in the back. You know what I'm saying?
No. I think the safest interpretation there is gay innuendo.
Oh my god!
I think that's the safest.
That's the safest
interpretation there.
God.
Yeah, unless you want the Secret Service.
Are you?
No, that's
showing up.
That's the safest, yeah. I just meant give him some barbecue. So, you know what? He's president. Doesn't mean he's God king. So if he wants some barbecue, he can be served in the back by the employees instead of cutting in line. That's all I'm saying.
Thank God we're not
But
talking
also
about
Cody
sausage, but
Wait, so what barbecue did you eat? I'm curious.
What did I have yesterday?
I don't know why I'm so curious. I think because I like food.
Rudy's. I had some Rudy's last night.
yeah, the
Rudy's is
sauce
good.
is boss.
And then I went to Bone Daddy's today. Have you been to Bone Daddy's?
I've been to Bone Daddy's. Their food's really good, actually.
I didn't realize. See, I was just looking for barbecue. I didn't realize that this place had been like a Hooters or something in the past. This is news to me.
Yeah, this is
well, it
barbecue
still is,
Hooters.
though,
Yeah,
right?
it's like barbecue Hooters, but they
But
had
the
like
food's good.
Oh my God, it was amazing. And here's the thing. So I was Googling about this because this became like a huge mystery to me. Because I was picking up the vibe. I was like, wait a minute. But the girls were covered up. So it was like it had been a Hooters. So I'm Googling this, and apparently they changed the corporate policy like a year ago or something.
Oh, okay.
So they
It's
made
like-
it more classy
It's
and conservative.
But still, I was like, why is every woman here a babe? And then I was like, sure enough, yeah, this used to be like, this is like Twin Peaks, but with barbecue.
See, I haven't been in quite a while. When I went last
Of course,
year,
they didn't
still
have
had,
white
like,
t-shirts, right?
provocative clothing.
Tell me
on
how
and
they
stuff.
dress, because I only can imagine. Tell me.
Oh, I can't remember.
I've never
exactly.
been there.
This is my first time
There was a
going.
lot
Never
of
been there.
cleavage.
Was
you
it?
know, yeah, for
See,
sure. But
man.
it wasn't necessarily like bikini. I know in Twin Peaks
Were they wearing
they've-
cutoffs? Were they wearing cutoffs?
Yeah, I believe so.
See,
back
they're
then.
wearing full jeans, long sleeve shirts.
What kind of policy is that? What is this? What is this? Saudi Arabia?
I know, but you
Come
can
on,
still tell they
people.
were total babes.
Maybe they were lepers.
No, listen, there was not a single man working service or the bar or anything. I was like, there's none of it babes.
Is this the one off of North 35?
This was near 183.
Oh yeah,
North.
183 in Duval.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I've been to that
That's-
one too.
I just ate there before I came here, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So were you with some chick or what?
Of course, man. Yeah.
Does she have any cute
No,
friends
does she have cute friends?
that she can like?
Listen,
that
set
like
me up
French
with?
fries.
listen. Have you seen Mean Girls?
Well, yeah, I have. Yeah.
Chris, come back to me in a year. Come back to me in a year.
You mean when I've shed?
Come back to me in a year when you're a better person. You know what I mean? Because
Better person.
Because one of these girls is just gonna
Yeah.
like take you for a ride, man.
You mean like mine did
Not like that.
for 4.5
in
years?
a good way, but a worse way.
What does that mean? A good way, but a worse
See,
way.
you bought the ticket, but I doubt you really took the ride.
Yeah, or depending on what you mean by ride.
I'm sure. Look, I'm sure you had to endure a lot. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sure you did, but you haven't felt
like I
yeah.
got the ride, but then sometimes
Yeah.
I didn't. But then I got the ride. You know what I mean? Like the
Well, the real ride is American Divorce, and none of us have. Well, you and I haven't taken that one yet.
well, it still felt like
we
that.
have that to look forward to.
It ends well.
Does it?
Yeah.
If you don't have assets.
They're expensive for a reason.
Yeah.
They're worth it.
Well, they were. Yeah. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
It's worth that 50% cut. Apparently, although I don't. Maybe not in your case. Maybe you got off better. I don't know.
I would suppose that's the ride.
Well, the ride comes in many different forms. It's bad for sure. Dang it! Well, a year. What if I could do 6 months?
What if just have a?
What if I could slim in 6 months?
That's not even a clean shirt.
First of all, it is a clean shirt.
You know, look, I'm looking out for you here. You know,
First of all, you are correct. No, you're actually incorrect. It is a clean shirt. It is from the dryer from a load of laundry I had done yesterday.
All right.
It's clean. It's just stained.
I see. So
Which I guess you could argue is not clean.
Then
this
get
what
rid of
But I
it.
want to make it clear that
Get rid of it.
it is a wash
Get rid
shirt,
of it.
and it's clean. And
Is this what our conversations are going to be, Chris? While we're out, you know.
Get rid of it.
Okay,
Well,
I
you
want to
see, it's
say
technically
I know
clean.
how to dress up. I've dressed up before, and when I was slimmer, even in the past few years,
As what?
I had a decent wardrobe.
The Michelin Man?
Why don't we turn the third hour of the show into crypto dating, the crypto dating show?
That's not a bad idea,
Right? The most eligible man in crypto.
Right here,
Here he
ladies.
is.
Actually, that's a joke.
Yeah.
Every man in crypto.
Hey, ladies.
is eligible.
Ouch.
Hey, ladies, you'll get more for your money.
What, with me?
Yeah.
Thanks. Man, a year.
Look, man, it doesn't have to be a full year, but I'm
No,
trying to
you're
give
being
you.
legit. You're
I'm
being
trying to give
legit.
you a head start here.
I'm going to the gym. I'm losing. I'm watching what I'm eating.
All right, how about this? What
I
are you
thought
looking
we-
for? Are you
Chris,
looking for?
I thought
for
we were
30?
gonna-
How old does she have to be?
Are you saying 30?
How
what
old?
do you mean?
How old would you like your ideal rebound?
I would like 35 or under.
35 or under.
I
huh?
prefer a little bit younger.
I thought
I'm
we were
35.
I thought we were going to break bad here to help you get down
Well,
like
we're-
really quick on
we
the
have-
massive scale.
Off air. We'll talk about
Okay. I'll give you a list of things to go pick up.
Okay. Sounds good. As long as I don't get arrested walking out of the store.
Oh, well, I'm not going with you.
You're going to give him, like, steroids? What are you going to... D-ball or whatever? What are you going to give him?
D-ball?
Yeah, diabolic.
Oh.
Diabolic steroids.
Or anabolic, what?
Whatever. They sound diabolic to me.
Yeah. Any good steroids is going to have, like, the ball sound in it.
The ball?
For anabolic.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Isn't that what you lose when you do it?
Yeah.
You also lose your balls. Yeah, it's all related. It's a beautiful symphony of poetic association. You take the balls, you lose the balls.
Oh, shit.
This is how he gets the ladies. It's not just that he's famous and successful. It's that he's a poet and he's a comic combined.
Can I read you some recent text messages while we were doing the show?
Yeah, although we
can that be the next hour?
Definitely.
We only have 30 seconds left. If you want to do, we can add it to post production.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it for prime time.
A year. Give me 6 months.
Well, Chris, you got to show some heart then, man. If it's going to be 6 months,
need some heart.
You can't just willy-nilly start eating cupcakes just because someone left one for you.
Well, Cody did.
That was the first test, Chris. I wanted to see what your resolve was
failed.
after your girlfriend said,
Chris sabotaged me.
You eat too many cupcakes.
All right, we'll see you guys next time on the Crypto Show. It's been fun with Cody Wilson and Lyn Ulbricht. See you next time.
Oh my God!
Absolutely.
Man, are they just that? Are these ladies that primo? I mean, don't get me wrong.
Primo.
I know.
Yeah, dude, that's what you want.
I know.
That's what you want. And you think about this, man. You're in a class where like this woman's
and to know
this woman's like offended by how like overweight you are, but still willing to be in a relationship with you.
Well, not more
ostensibly for many
Isn't
years.
Isn't she a stock girl at like some lame ass grocery store?
Yeah.
This translation is highly comes 13,000.
So let's not get too personal.
So
in that regard.
we want to upgrade. You want to get you to more accustomed to a different way of living.
Hell yeah!
You know,
we're gonna hook you up at a car wash.
These are girls that don't need to know about your previous life, right?
551-010.
Don't you, on some level, want a girl who wouldn't even talk to you right now in your present state?
02.
Because that's the value that she sees in herself, and you want to be worthy of.
Fair enough.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I still think in these terms, so I'm not singling you out here.
No, but you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm a fat slob.
Dude,
I want a girl that wouldn't stand. That
you could
stand
lose
me
30
if she just
pounds
saw
by
me.
getting rid of them lamb chops.
Really? But isn't that... I mean, I understand that's value in a way, but doesn't that just be...
You need this as a heuristic, or like you need this as a method, because that's the only way that you can achieve like something. You know, you need to like slay yourself, all right? You need to be like the merciless censor of your own like being. Okay. All right, because like to be with any woman who would be with you right now, like that is that's a way of not accepting responsibility for yourself.
The year 1865.
That's true. And honestly, any woman who would be with me the way I am now is...
It's a form of externalized pity or something even weirder that I can't... I don't know.
If you'll come here and take the trash out 3 times a week, you'll lose quite a bit of weight.
You know what I found too? That the higher my self-hatred is, whatever woman is willing to be in my life at that point, the more hatred I have for that person. Because if I hate myself, I can't possibly stand the person who's okay with me. Do you see what I'm saying?
So you're saying that I hated her because I hated myself?
No, all I'm really trying to say is no relationship that you could even try to strike out for right now could be that successful because you have these unresolved things now that you want to resolve. Or so you say.
And Pakistan
border.
And
it's unlikely that you can resolve them well if you have someone...
Are you now just talking about the emotional things or something?
I'm saying if you bring another person in your life right now, or let's say the person I'm talking about, or the hypothetical, and then like right now in your present state, well then it prevents you from moving to the state that you want to move to.
Press conference.
Oh, okay. I kind of see what you're saying. Like, because I need to better myself anyway.
Psychologically, it's probably going to be an impediment. She's going to tell you that you're great and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, time out. Just take a time out.
I'm lonely. You know, this is the first time in my life I've ever lived alone.
That's great.
Is it? I
You
don't
need
think
that.
it is.
Oh, I live for that.
Don't you live
for that?
Don't you live in your mom's basement?
After the blast.
You have to have that, man. You really need that. A classic man should be comfortable.
I'm not
being,
a classic man.
Well, then now you have an opportunity to.
No, but you're a man that had a lot of classic cokes.
I actually grew up with Diet Coke.
Dude, you should just go live in the woods, man. Just go live in the woods.
Oh, did you know that we are number one amongst listeners in the woods over at North Loop and Hancock area, or North Loop and Allendale area?
What are you talking about?
That guy Rick that works for.
He
was telling me that he was listening to us in the woods the other day.
Are you serious?
The dude lives in the woods.
How does he live in the woods?
Well, he doesn't have a van, and it's not down by the river, so he just lives in the woods in a tent.
It's awesome.
I mean, that's cool and good for him in a way, but oh wow.
But we have tent listeners.
Well, I'm happy, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Is tomorrow May 1?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So there's a May 31, but it's not April 31.
Some ritual or something?
No, I have to get my rent.
Gotta go to your druid clan. No,
I don't have anything interesting.
He doesn't take Bitcoin. You just send it to him now.
I could be hot though. I've got a good physique if I lost weight.
You're super strong.
You're already hot.
I could be hot if I lost the weight.
You're already hot.
And
sweaty.
Don't think about it. Think of all the big guys in hip hop who are like hot, even though they're like huge, right? Like,
but they're successful millionaire hip hop artists.
Right.
Though.
It's like
just
status.
think if you were able to like trim yourself down to Kim.com size.
Your homes, your cars.
Kim's got to be bigger, right? You don't think Kim's bigger?
No.
I thought
Kim's a big dude, but
you're saying he's less fat than me?
Yeah.
Well, you wear yours better then, because I feel like Kim is like. Kim's
like
6 foot.
Kim wears clean shirts.
All right, I'm going and I'm.
Kim does have a hot ass Thai wife or whatever. Have you seen his wife?
Of course he does. He's a multi-millionaire.
Oh, stop it! He's a beautiful man.
And he's a genius.
He's
a
incredible
great guy. Don't get me wrong.
Gumball racer.
Doesn't need a gate. Doesn't need a fence around his property. He's got a gate that the cops can jump over.
Yeah,
and the boldness to invent a surname, right? Like no one invents surnames anymore, right? Like he created the .com surname. Like he has these kids with his name now. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to make a surname, but
do I need to make a surname?
You can. I would give you like in Zarathustra, like you can only make a surname as like a symbol, a monument to your own liberation. Right, a monument to your victory. Once you've conquered yourself and achieved your task, you can make a surname.
But it seems pointless at that or after the fact. You know what I mean? Like it's just
it's like your excuse to have children and on your own terms, right? It's like you're now producing these kids with this new name.
I guess I see what you're saying. That's a good point. That makes sense.
And in anticipation, let's go ahead and just rename you Flacco.
That's good. Yeah, why not?
I can't think of a good surname though.
But of course, that happens a lot. Big guys are always called Flacco in Spanish.
Ironically,
yeah.
Well, you mean a surname like for yourself, or
I can't just in general. Like, what's a great surname that should exist that doesn't exist?
When it comes to vaccines,
that doesn't exist.
I guess I'd have to make it like gun related or something stupid like that.
It'll come to you.
She'll explain that when she comes on.
Bazooka Bob.
Just hook me up with. Bazooka Bob.
Right.
Just hook me up with one of her lady friends, and then I'll come up with it for you.
I'm really bad at hooking up.
No, because
with lady friends.
He likes his lady friends.
I'm not in any shape right now. I gotta get a new wardrobe. I gotta lose weight. Don't
get the wardrobe yet.
Yeah.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
What?
You're right. Except I thought about it. If I really want to get serious, I need to get back into the habit of dressing well immediately. I need to look good even now that I'm overweight. Even though the clothes will become useless soon, I really think because, for instance, let's say
you can give your old clothes to a painter. That they make great paint rags,
or a mechanic or something.
Yeah,
that's true.
T-shirts are the best rags.
There you go.
Absolutely.
No, but think about it, because I could be this heavy, and maybe I'm around a girl or girls that I'll eventually hit it off with when I lose the weight. I still want to project that style and cleanliness. It's a waste in a way, but I mean I could afford it. I could afford the.
Just put the money in for like a weight rag.
Well, that's not a bad idea too.
Dude, I got a badass weight rag. You can come over and use mine anytime.
Really?
Just go right through the fence, go in the backyard, and there it is.
Except you live so far away.
I know.
That's the only thing. I would take you up on that.
It's free. It's a good system.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Do you work out regularly or?
Every once in a while. I worked out the other day, actually.
Maintains. Or run. How much do you run back in the day?
Me back in the day?
Yeah.
I used to run 5 miles a day.
Mm-hmm.
Not every single day, but like I would say.
Ironically, that's how far McDonald's was.
Yeah. Uncoincidentally. No, but like around like 25, 26, I ran 4 or 5 miles every, like 4 or 5 times a week or something.
Wow.
But I was in much better shape. So
yeah.
Charles,
well, you know, round is a shape.
Never heard that one before. Douchebag. If you're gonna make it funny, I won't hate you for the funny ones, but if it's gonna be bad, then
okay, I'll try harder.
We cannot accept into our bloodstream.
No.
What?
No.
Are you
I do.
fucking? Are you nuts?
That's crazy, Tom.
It's not crazy.
It's really crazy.
That's way crazy.
I get it. You had a certain emotional intimacy. You were complaining about loneliness more than
in the sense that they're not.
Well, I mean, kind of, but we had something special.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man. Is she the one?
I thought she was.
She's not even. She doesn't even look
She
like
told
a
me I
Highlander.
was for the longest time.
From
But
there,
You have to tell me right now. You know, is she the one?
meaning never
Is she a Highlander?
I mean, she could be.
That ain't it. That's not it.
She has a lot of like
or allergy
baggage and stuff. She has a lot of hang-ups.
Yeah, Belle, dude. How old is she?
31.
Too old.
The proteins are
Well, that's the
associated.
well, no. I mean,
my God.
I know probably where you're coming from, but she's too old, honestly, to have these hang-ups. You know, at 31,
The older they get, worse it gets.
An
Man.
allergy.
Belle.
Those,
aren't they supposed to mature?
No.
all the other proteins, some of which come from animals, we don't typically eat.
He's
like
gonna turn that into a soundbite.
dogs and monkeys.
That's what it
Nevertheless, if we were to get a
Because he was going
subsequent
back.
shot of that same
No, it's still,
vaccine,
it's
it could
still
be
rolling.
No, it's all right. I'm not. I heard him like repeat it.
electric shock, which is potentially fatal.
Nah, man, put those thoughts away.
So from that perspective alone, no, you are
Cody,
not
what's the lead time on a
protected
ghost gunner?
vaccine.
Right now?
Yeah.
Like two
Then
and a
goes
half
on to
months.
say,
2.5 months.
It's coming down. But look, I mean, if it's for like
you are protecting
you're meeting one of
the
these
most
people and they want to see one,
vulnerable,
like we'll ship one out. You know?
No, someone's
Very
asking
young
on
and
Facebook.
Oh, it's like 2.5 months. I would do it
There
now.
you go, whoever you are.
Look, if can they hear it on Facebook right now?
Yeah.
Look, I would do it now just because like we're gonna release the pistols in like I don't know, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something, and it's gonna go crazy. We got all the press lined up. No, we don't need to talk about it. Let's talk about it when it's time. But when we do that, the lead time's gonna just friggin' skyrocket. It's gonna take another like 6 months to start getting it.
serious injuries, including death, we're told by Health and Human Services on its
But,
vaccine injury.
I mean, with
caused
future
by
plans, you're
the
planning on actually getting this shit out faster.
I hired 2 new guys last week on the line. I mean, I'm throwing people at it.
Do you need...
You're fully informed.
I got somebody you can hire and fire really quickly.
I
whether you
got
want.
one of those guys right now who I can just get rid of him anytime.
No, my son is looking for something.
Oh, is that right?
He's trying to work at a grocery store. He's pretty good with his hands.
Well, look out.
If he doesn't work out, you can
No,
fire
let's-
him. I don't give a shit.
Let's tell Paloma. I mean, I really do have. I have like a new temp guy, and then we hired 2 new guys full time on the line.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to. I mean, they made like 10 on Friday. Like I'm trying to make 10 or 15 every day, and I should probably be able to catch up in like a month and a half.
All right. I mean, he actually goes to school right down the street from here,
Yeah.
so he could just like pop in and work part time even.
Get to this
It's,
type of well, the
Yeah,
communications
let's get his
would-
resume. Paloma's trying to
All right.
put back a bunch of resumes. I mean, I want people. I want to know I have people
Yeah.
when I need to. Because when we do pistols, it's going to be like if the order volume is huge. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hire like 3 or 4 guys immediately.
All right.
So
He's about to try to work for Natural Grocers. So, yeah, he wants to. He's awesome with graphics and like he actually created our logo and like the one that's on our T-shirt.
Yeah.
The one that's on the T-shirt, he did all that, and he actually does most of my anything that I don't know how to do on the internet. I just like throw my computer at him and say, "Fix it."
Is that right?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I'm trying to save the young people.
Yeah,
from their lives of catering in the service industry.
Right.
I'm trying.
The context
Yeah, I've
was
shopped
simply
at
the
Natural Grocers,
possibility.
man. It's a tough gig.
That this is information that
he'll,
given out
I'm sure
anytime
great
a doctor or nurse or CVS.
I don't know. If he's not, you know what? If he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, fire his ass.
Well, I'm just saying,
That's how they
they'll
learn.
probably do well in natural places because their
Get
employees are
a
not that
vaccine.
Oh.
Like,
Well, I wouldn't like disrespect him and take him to like Weedsville Co-op or some crap like that. I mean, that's
The employees are always very
jacked
Austin,
up.
though. They're like very, very Austin.
Weedsville, yeah.
Well,
No,
that's my
yeah, especially
comment,
Weedsville, but
which is,
even the natural gas
exactly
is
what I'm just saying. What
No,
Weedsville's the worst.
that's a joke. Weedsville is
of a severe vaccine
it's
reaction,
a place that's
including
dear to
death.
his heart.
It's called.
Is that where you met her? Is that where you met her?
That's where she works.
Really? I'm always a member. I guess I'm still a member of Weedsville. I lived right by it for like years when I first moved
You're
to.
not just protecting yourself.
Yeah, and John, my engineer, he loved to eat there, like for lunch
You
and stuff. It's
compromise the very young, the very
crazy.
old. Meanwhile,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah,
expensive.
Kids who are
It
vaccinated for
is,
whooping
although
cough
I
and
feel like we've gotten
exposed,
more
which can
special
happen
stuff.
anywhere there are